Always a great time of the year in sports, and it's without a doubt truly one of the greatest times in the year because you have the NCAA tournament. You still have the kind of the small remnants of free agency in the NFL. You had the World Baseball Classic. By the way, I've never seen so much energy in Miami. And then the gift that keeps on giving. The Philadelphia Eagles. Hit the like button. By the way, unless it's a super chat, we will not be distracted in any way in this open. Oh, and by the way, at 3:30, Angelo Cataldi will have a retort with all of those idiots in Philadelphia that he told you he didn't really like the state of the union when it came to WIP and how it's run and how it sounds. And they took shots at him, both 97.5. By the way, 97.5, I don't even know why you're in it. Nobody even knows who you are anymore. You got Bill Cunnilingus on and then a whole bunch of nobodies. And then you have WIP, which is fueled by the Phillies and the Eagles. It is not the home of John Ritchie and some of those dudes. It's the home of the Eagles and the Phillies and the Eagle fans. So we will go down that lane, hit the like button, and without a doubt, we started off with the Dallas Goedert news. Folks, the Eagles had to do this, or it'd be $20 million large against the cap. Did they really want the player back? I guess. Is it an A move? No. They brought him back because there was 20 million reasons why they brought him back. They brought him back because of money. Nothing else. Nothing else. Has he been a good player? Absolutely. There was no market for the guy. It was one of the weirdest things, and make no mistake about it, Dallas Goedert had to be brought back because of money. No other reason. There is no other reason why he was brought back. $7 million cheap and $20 million not going to your cap. You really had no other choice. You had no other choice but to bring that guy back, or you would have 20 million large dead cap money on your cap. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You had 20 million. I'm bringing back a damn tight end. That was the highlight of the week. Okay? Hurts' security blanket? Okay. But it's also 20 million reasons, dude. $20 million. Hey, listen, I would bring that back and bring him back just because of the 20 million, whether he was good or not. And by the way, 1,000%, A.J. Brown will be traded and will not be on this football team September 1st. Not happening. Bye. They are doing everything in their power to move the player. Everything. Bye-bye, A.J. And as I've been saying since day one, it's the Patriots. And I will still hang on that. Since I told all my friends Goddard was gone now, I look like an idiot. Well, hey, Bruce, they had to bring him back. $20 million. It was more important for the Eagles to bring him back than to have a $20 million hit. You don't look like an idiot, my friend. No way. Hey, by the way, you got the same tight end group? Let's see something. And by the way, Bruce, let's take a look at that for a second, shall we? All right. So let's go over here. And let's go to the Eagles. Let's see here. So we go over to the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's take a look at this. So 60, what else? And 9. Anywhere else? So you had 69 catches from the entire tight end group of a year ago with Calcaterra and with Goedert. That's not going to improve. That's who those dudes are. You didn't improve your tight end room. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, you got a guy that's coming back that's not a very good tight end when it comes to blocking. Hey, look, they got him back at $7 million. There was no market for him. Okay. Absolutely. So now we'll get to your comments. By the way, Super Chats go to the top. And we'll say again, there were 20 million reasons why they had to bring him back. And that is because there was too much dead cap money. Now, let's go to Twiz. The scheme is supposed to be different. Doesn't the West Coast scheme use the tight end more? Yeah, but you have to have a quarterback to use the tight end. Eagles will be pressured to trade AJ for a 3 and a 5. 2 and a 3. His asking price is too high. Still, should they draft Sadiq, the best tight end on the board? No. I don't think much of the guy. Do I see Tyler Warren? Or do I see Brock Bowers? Or do I see the Colston kid in Michigan? I don't see that. He may shock the world out of people, but I didn't see a very productive player in Oregon. That football team was more driven by the run game. Goedert might end up being the best Eagle tight end of all time if he has a good season. So you think he's better than Zach Ertz? Do you? I think Zach Ertz is a little better player. I think Goddard's more complete. And I don't think he's better than Keith Jackson. Don't you think bringing Goedert back is a good move by Howie for the cap? Yes. Because now it gives them the ability to trade A.J. Brown. Florio reported today the Rams saw AJ's medical and said, I'm out. I highly doubt that's true. I'm not saying that Florio. So wait a minute. Let me get this right. Florio was told by the Rams that AJ Brown's medical's bad? Really? So the Rams told him that. Well, if I was AJ's representatives, I'd make sure I contacted the NFL Players Association, and I'd make sure that the Rams giving out HIPAA laws about my medicals, I'd like to know if Mike Florio did talk to somebody in the Rams organization, because that's a violation of the collective bargaining agreement, sharing medical advice or medical information on another player in the league and then giving it to the media. That'd be like sharing your income taxes or something like that when you file your income taxes. Those are private informations. So, I mean, I'd like to really know if Florio really did talk to Les Snead or Kevin Demoff. Oh, no, I don't believe it. I think Florio's making bullshit up. Oh, right. So the Rams told a reporter that A.J. Brown's medical, a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's sharing information about the medical? And by the way, do you really believe that it got that far, that the Eagles would send the player's medical to the Rams? Because if that's the case, that thing was inches away from happening. And I don't believe it was. Not with the Rams. Not with the Rams. Okay? That I don't. Byers was more of a early version of Alvin Kamara. Could run the ball, catch the football. He was kind of like Alvin Kamara. Yeah, I'm with you. Fake news, dude. Okay? Keith Myers. Correct. Loved him. Been on this program 2 or 3 times. Let's see here. Sales Max, Claire, or Michael Trigg should be targets in round 2 to replace Goedert. Calcaterra gets cut after the preseason. Calcaterra, I mean, I think he's a dude. It's crazy how so many people don't know what HIPAA laws are. Yeah, you can't share medical information. Adam Schefter got sued for $4 million by Jason Pierre-Paul because a guy at a hospital gave him medicals on his hand that got blown off with a firecracker incident. And he posted it on the internet, and ESPN had to pay $4 million for disclosing injuries and pictures of an injury because it hurt its market value. Okay? I know how it works with the Players Association, dude. No, you. Yeah, so wait. Hey, Sig, Adam Schefter and ESPN got fined for just exactly almost what you said. So here, get this. How do you know what's in the collective bargaining agreement just because you have a respected agreement that you've negotiated collectively with your union and your shop, whether it's being a carpenter or whether it's being an electrician? How do you fucking know what the NFL and how the NFL negotiated with the league on their HIPAA rules? You think it's across the board the same? You're wrong. This guy thinks if you're an electrician or if you're an NFL player, they're the same HIPAA rules. Everything is collectively bargained. You should know more of that, shouldn't you? So you think if a guy is an ice cream salesman, that he has the, hang on here. So you think if a guy's an ice cream salesman, that's the same guy has the same collective bargaining requirements that a company and a shop has, that the NFL has? Nice job, dude. Seals, why would I keep AJ around when I can get Chris Bell in the second round paying $30 million less with same skill set as AJ Brown? You wouldn't. Correct. It's all collectively bargained. One thing's the same. Union reps are paid off. That I agree with. So here, Eagles had to bring Goedert back. 20 million reasons. Sills, could you explain between Crosby's medical getting out and AJ's getting out? I don't remember his getting out. All I know is he said he had meniscus surgery. Dr. Chow even said what they said was it was more of a replacement. And what Crosby said it himself that it was more of a replacement. I don't remember any medical information on the severity of it being released by the Raiders. You'll have to show me that. Or where the medicals from Baltimore were released. You'll have to show me that. I don't remember Baltimore saying anything on the medicals. All as I heard them say is he failed the physical. I never heard any of that. Skill set. Are you kidding me? Skill set doesn't make you A.J. Brown. The Titans learned that the hard way. Treylon Burks. Anybody? Yes. Skill set. I would say this to you, that they didn't know what they had in A.J. Brown. I thought that's why his trade value dropped. Trade value dropped because the Ravens said his trade value dropped because the Ravens failed his physical. Hope you had a good weekend, Sills. Thoughts on big play Slay retiring? I don't think it's a Hall of Fame, but had an above-average career. I think Darius Slay was a really good football player. And I think he really played well. And I think he was really okay. And I think he's an absolutely great player. Hall of Fame player? He is not. I think it's semantics argument. You can break the bargaining agreement without breaking actually HIPAA laws. That I would agree with. The Ravens failing Crosby sends a note that the injury in their mind was bigger without even saying anything. Absolutely. We need a Reggie Wayne for the Marvin Harrison that Smitty is. Okay? Slay is not a Ring of Honor player. He is not a Ring of Honor. He is not. He's a really good football player. Ring of Honor? No. And so NFL isn't covered under HIPAA, and yet Adam Schefter was fined $4 million for it. Okay, guy. Really? ESPN had to pay $4 million on a settlement because they released information on Jason Pierre-Paul's hand. Good grief. And by the way, we have a union. What's up, Sills? I'm not sure what's going on with AJ. Oh, I am. They're doing everything in their power. Okay? Yes. The NFL Players Association was better under Gene Upshaw. Yes, he is. Bro helped Birds to 2 Super Bowls. Get the man his flowers. So you think a guy plays 4 years? How many years did he play? 5 years? You think he's a Ring of Honor player? The only other guy I can remember that's in the Ring of Honor that's got less than 5 years service that's in the Ring of Honor is Jerome Brown because Jerome died. You don't have any other players in there with 5 or less years, do you? Let's take a look at that. Here, let's go back here. I want to make sure I keep that. By the way, Angelo Cataldi will join us at 3:30. So let me see here. Ring of Honor. Is there anybody in the Ring of Honor less than 5 years? Is there? You got to be at least 8 with the Birds to get that honor. Seals, you were right on point Friday when they extended Goedert through the weekend. How he couldn't get a deal done with AJ, so he pulled the trigger on Goedert to save the $20 million. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Okay? Dude, the Goedert deal now makes it so that the Eagles can actually trade him because now they have more cap space. They could trade him before June 1, but they're going to wait until June 1 where it goes down to $14 million. And they're doing everything in their power. Ian Rappaport just came out and said that it most likely will happen around June 1st. He's not fucking here. We will be right. Sills, I take care of terminally ill people. No collective bargaining can override a government law. Okay? I'm not sure what that has to do with Crosby's deal and Crosby and his medicals being released. But okay. Hey, Sills, if AJ's in fact out the door, are there any free agent plans for the wide receiver? I think you're going in the draft, my friend. But I don't believe it's this year. I think you'll go next year in the draft. You may sign a guy or maybe make a trade for somebody. Okay. Hey, everybody, hit the ice cream button. Thank you, Wayne. I love that picture of you there with Jerome and with Randall Cunningham. Love that. His Eagle resume stacks up with Shady over the time period. Shady won 2 chips when he left. Shady was a bus driver. Excuse me. Shady was a bus rider on them Super Bowls, by the way. He was a bus rider. Yeah, Dan is correct. I think you draft one, but I think they do it this year. You think you do it this year? Okay. Can they trade AJ now as designated him as a post-June 1? Yes. Now they can because they've got the money on the cap. Yes. Okay? No, you wouldn't, jackass. No, you wouldn't. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I'm a pacifist now. The move with Dallas was a good move. It saves the cap room, and they got a tight end that they need. Absolutely true. And by the way, Hero, sit behind your keyboard and pretend you're somebody you're not. Who'd you fight? Your next door neighbor? JC Sills, he's telling you you're right about the HIPAA law. Comprehension is key. Being a dick is key for you too, Prince. Grab a Wes Chandler Charlie Joyner. Hey, man, I love Wes Chandler's my boy. Love Charlie Joyner too. They would still count as cap. That's right. It would go all the way until June 1. Right. The money would be now too. You're right. You're dead right. Yeah, you're dead right. Oh, you're gonna do what? Laugh me to death? Everybody's a tough guy till they meet me. Most of the Eagle fans couldn't even knock out Mark Holmes. Better let Philly 500 in the fight. How you doing? There's my boy Prince. Prince, what'd you think of the first week of the Eagles, dude? Those guys were fabulous. Those guys, truly one of the greatest. And then you had to add Kellen Winslow, and you had to add who was the running back? Who was the running back they had in that time? What was that guy's name? From Cal. They had a really good running back. Oh my God. They had Winslow, they had Joyner, and they had Chandler. And they had that running back. God, it just slips my mind. No, not LaDainian Tomlinson. It's older. Chuck, what is it? Chuck Muncie. They had Chuck Muncie. It was Chuck Muncie. It was Kellen Winslow Sr. It was Joyner, and it was Jefferson. Truly great. Let's see here. Seals, do you think Goedert and Sweat are still on the table? I don't think Sweat is, but it seems that Goedert is. Hey, DFW. I think Howard Roseman has had a bad offseason so far. Still a lot to go. I think Howard Roseman, I think Howard Roseman is, I don't think it was a good week. Lost a lot of guys. Howard Roseman keeps letting defensive players walk and replacing them with Temu free agents. No wonder Fangio's looking to retire. Hey, DFW, here's what Eagle fans are saying to you. Ready? If we sign Jordan Davis to an extension, then we turn around and we sign Jalen Carter to an extension, right? And they lose 6 players. That's the price of doing business. So you want to sign 2 players and lose, since the Super Bowl, half of the defense is gone now. Vic said Eagles are the farm system for 31 other teams. How you doing? Howard Roseman is the GOAT. If he trades AJ to Ohio State for Smith, that kid, Jeremiah Smith, is going to be a superstar. He is a superstar. Half of that defense is now officially gone from the Super Bowl season. And you got a lot of unknowns and a lot of young ball players. Maybe Goedert move was to deal with Nolan's $15 million in May. AJ could very well be an Eagle for one more season, at least the trading deadline. Like you said, though, David, you could still trade him now, post June 1, and the trading deadline. And you can trade him all the way up until the trade deadline. So if he starts acting like an asshole, which I'm assuming he will, you think he's going to get out of the gate acting well when that offense is bumping around all the way in the first month of the season because they're installing new things? Okay. Like I said, I don't believe it's going to work, but we'll see. Goedert made this AJ trade more realistic. Correct, Kim. That's what the diehard, green-eyed Eagle fans are not getting. The Goedert move is without a doubt the springboard for AJ being gone. Okay? All I could say is there's been many recent times where people said how we're going to pay these players, that they're going to do. This has got nothing to do with that. This is a player wants out. And I believe the Eagles are to a point where they don't want to give a shit about this any longer. They listen, and I don't blame them. You know what? You may not be a better football team, talent-wise, but you may be a better football team collectively without Brown. And not having to worry about wiping some guy's chin every 5 seconds to make sure the guy's happy. I'm fucking tired of that. Aren't you? You mean to tell me I got to sit here and placate to that guy and make him feel great about his life? How far do I have to go inside that locker room? And how far are the Eagles going to make players go just to make those people feel better about their lives? Give me a fucking break. Enough is enough. It gets to a point where you're finished. Last week, he talked about the quarterbacks he wanted to play with, and he's talking through agents now. Xander points out the guy makes the money. He's one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL statistically, touchdowns and yards. What is it? He doesn't play with the quarterback anymore. Why are you dancing around it? It's either two things. You don't want to play with Nick, or you don't want to play with Hurts. Xander answered, Xander, will you do me a favor? I like what he said to John McMullen today because he was talking to Jeff Kerr about this stuff. 5,000 yards in the last 4 years. Guy makes $32 million. Touchdowns, he's in the top 5, right? All of that, correct? What's his problem? He doesn't like the quarterback. What else is it? You dance around the main issue. He wants to play with a better quarterback. No. He wants to play with a quarterback that throws the ball more. How about this? We'll take out the better. And I'll take out the better quarterback because I really don't think that even is relevant. He just wants to play with a quarterback that throws the ball more. That's it. You're answering your own questions. You're answering your own questions. AJ, you think it's better on the other side? Yeah. I'm going to have a quarterback that's going to throw me the football. Why do you think Mike Evans went to San Francisco? Because Kyle Shanahan's going to get Mike Evans the ball. Says, excuse my German. Why do we keep hiring these Shizakovs on offense, but keep ripping apart the defense? God forbid you touch the offense. I love that you know Shizakov. Way to go, bro. That's where all the money is. As of right now, on March 16th, your money's over on the other side. Hey, Sills, Slay retired. You think he's a Hall of Famer? Borderline. Great player, but no. Sills, I totally agree. AJ needs to go. We won't be better without him, but I think there's a chance how he keeps him one more year. Man, I don't think so. I don't see it. By the way, Angelo Cataldi will be with us. That'll be at 1:30. Actually, that's going to be at 3:30. My bad. 3:30. Angelo Cataldi at 3:30. Sills, AJ got his ring now. He wants to see what kind of numbers he can get with a top 5 passer. Correct. Okay? Definitely every time I didn't bring a rod, I thought about it, regretting it. And assuming you're doing let's see here. Gary Cobb's birthday today. So Gary Cobb's celebrating his birthday. So AJ has a problem with AJ. It's a head case. Yeah. There's no reasoning with it. Correct. So I don't know why AJ wants to play with the Chargers. Harbaugh's offense is built around the run game. They want to move that direction, but had offensive line injuries. I believe that's true, but Herbert's going to get the ball to him. They still want to throw the ball. But you're right in the run game. Big Sills, I'm just sick of this BS. He's a professional, but acts like a child. I get it. You're right. That's why it's time to, hey, listen, Racing, it's time. It's time. Xander Krause told you all those numbers, right? What's the fucking problem? You know what the problem is? It's what somebody said 2 minutes ago. It's AJ. You're never going to please that guy. So if you're never going to please him, there's nothing that offense in this city is going to do for him to change his opinion. Even if you told him, he's not buying it. He doesn't want to play with that quarterback. It's not personal either. I think he really likes Jalen. He doesn't like Jalen the quarterback. Two things can be true. He doesn't like Jalen the quarterback in the way he sees the game and how he throws the ball. This is all this comes down to. Because Xander's right. Top 5 in every category, including paychecks. Bro, you got just as good a numbers as Justin Jefferson, and you're not happy? Nothing you can do. This is a foregone conclusion. Guys like that don't grow up. You think T.O. grew up? T.O. still hasn't grown up. Antonio Brown still hasn't grown up. What do you mean grow up? When guys have infant minds like that, they never grow up. That's why it's always bad endings. This is never going to change. Here, I heard Xander go like this. Top 5 in passing, receiving yards, touchdowns, paycheck. What's the problem? It's the quarterback. Nothing else. It can't be them trying to get the ball to him because they do. It can't be because he doesn't have a lot of touchdowns because he does. It can't be because he's bitching about being paid. He is. What is it? It's the fucking quarterback. You don't want to say it. And by the way, whether you believe it or not, that the quarterback's the problem, it's not important. You just have to understand that's what he thinks. and you don't want to wrap your head around it. He thinks the quarterback's not good enough. Whether you believe he's full of shit or not, that's not the important part of this. The important part of this is he doesn't believe it. Okay? Think about it. You see this dummy here? Fake news? Okay. Well, then why does he hate it here? I heard John McMullen say it. John McMullen's around the organization with all those reporters. The Eagles are doing everything they can to move him. That's not my interpretation. Okay, well, here's my interpretation. So his agent is talking about what quarterbacks he wants to play with. His agent told Ian Rappaport, Albert Breer, he wants to go to a place with a good quarterback, and he named the quarterbacks. It's got nothing to do with fucking scheme. The scheme he was in gave him 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and kept him in the top 5. Had nothing to do with scheme. They got him his numbers. Don't you hear, Xander? They got him his numbers. They got him his paycheck. That's so dumb. You're just assuming another stupid coordinator thing. It's ridiculous. You refuse to believe it, that the guy doesn't want to play with Hurts. And it's got everything to do with that. AJ never said he wants out. No, he just acts like it, right? Okay. Well, get this, guys. I'm not arguing with people that don't see what's going on here. Okay? I think it's less to do with the quarterback and more to do with the offensive game plan. Oh, God. They are never going to hire a passing coordinator as long as Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of this football team, because Nick doesn't see him as that kind of player. He sees him more as a dual threat guy. Name me one passing coordinator that they've ever hired here that stuck to his guns as being a passing attack outside of Brian Johnson. Even Kellen Moore, who's a passing coordinator, turned into a run coordinating offensive coordinator. Can you name me one guy outside of Brian Johnson that threw the ball that would make AJ happy? Who? Kellen Moore had 2 number 1 ranked offenses in Dallas. And what did he do when he got here? He turned the team into a running attack. Shane Steichenhart was a dual threat. It's the only time that they utilized his abilities was in 22. And do me a favor, guys. Stop bringing 22 up. I told you then, and I'll tell you today. That's the best you'll ever see of Hurts ever again. That's 4 years ago. It's 4 years ago. I mean, 4 years ago now. You keep bringing that up. You're going on year 4. Here, how about this? If Jalen Hurts throws for $4,000, they miss the playoffs, then what? The offense is moving in a direction where they're getting better. Hey, dude, let me ask you something. That's a great question, though, Southern. It's a great question. If the offense, you see improvement in the offense, and let's just say they go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, but you see them moving in the right direction, even without A.J. Brown, and the quarterback got better, doesn't that push the window open more? Mahomes missed the playoffs. Hurts is going to miss the playoffs one time. He's not going to make the playoffs every year of his career. That's not going to happen. That's right. Hurts shows improvement. I'll take a step back. Yeah, because Twiz, you know what you get the next year? You know what you get the next year? You get all those draft picks, you get a higher pick in 27, and you can bring in new offensive firepower for the kid. And then he would have sold you. I'll tell you what, too, Twiz. If he shows improvement, I would extend him. I would extend him. Sills, I thought Goedert wasn't coming back. Seems not everybody knows what they're talking about. I completely didn't believe he was coming back. But then the Eagles came to their senses when they couldn't get the A.J. deal done. And when they couldn't get the A.J. deal done, they didn't want $20 million on their cap. They brought him back. You really think they wanted to bring Goedert back? They brought Goedert back because why? $20 million. Seals, make it make sense. A.J. Brown has gotten the numbers similar to Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, and he still has an issue. It speaks more that he can't stand the quarterback taking his limelight. I think it's more about, yeah, okay. Hey, remember something, Abe. If you win the Super Bowl and you have, how about this? If you win the Super Bowl and you have 750 yards receiving and you're A.J. Brown. Here, let's do this, Abe. Abe, by the way, calls my Tampa show every now and then. Thank you. By the way, hit the like button. Let me ask you this, Abe. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year and A.J. Brown has 68 catches for 790 yards and 8 touchdowns, you think he's happy? You think he's happy? Do you think he's happy? You think he causes a shitstorm? You think he's a ticking time bomb right now on the chemistry of your locker room? Ask yourself this question too. Okay. How many people in here believe that Nick Sirianni? How many people in here believe that Nick Sirianni, this season here, is going to be a make or break year for Nick? How many people believe that this coming season, Nick Sirianni, do you believe that this is going to be a make or break year for him? Yes. So if Nick misses the playoffs and they don't make the playoffs, well, that's why they call it Sports Talk, Fish Maniac. So wait a minute. If they miss the playoffs, you don't think Nick Sirianni's not fired? Could it be the fact that AJ thinks Hurts isn't a good quarterback? So all the praise Hurts gets rubs him the wrong way? Well, hey, when a crappy coworker gets glazed by bosses, is that kind of the same issue here? A little bit. So let me ask you this one then. Let me go one step further. I like it, Jace. Thank you. Let me ask you this one. If Nick Sirianni doesn't make the playoffs, do you think they fire him? Yes or no? Do the Eagles fire Nick Sirianni if he doesn't make? Love you too, bro. David doesn't think. Yes. Gone. Who knows? Consistent. He's gone. No. It would be the first time since missing the playoffs. So you think if that guy, after getting blown out by San Francisco, and they missed the playoffs, they're going to keep him when even during the Super Bowl year, they were thinking of firing him. Okay. So let's add this component now to this. I think some of you are delusional. Okay? Yeah. You didn't think you'd get beat by a JV Niner team, too, but you did. So, why in the world would Nick Sirianni take a gamble and bring A.J. Brown back to blow his locker room up and his team when he's going to need everybody's focus and everybody running in the same direction for them to make the playoffs and to be a good football team moving forward? Why would he have a subversive on the team that doesn't want to be here? Why would he do that? Why would Nick gamble? And why would Howie gamble in having a guy like that back that doesn't want to be here? There is no way in hell that guy's coming back. Sills, even if Sirianni has a good year, there's a possibility Laurie promotes Mannion. So there's a new puppet and stability. I'll tell you what, that's a great – hey, Trev, that's a great topic. How about this, guys? If Sean Mannion and AJ and Jalen Hurts have a 4,200-yard passing year, he throws for 34 touchdowns, they go 9-8, and they miss the playoffs. You think the owner's going to look at it, go, I'm not letting Sean Mannion out of here. He got the best out of Jalen Hurts of any coordinator that's been here since Shane Steichen. What if this Mannion kid turns out to be the next Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan? I mean, what happens? You're going to let him walk away for a third time? They filled some holes. It should be a playoff team if AJ stays. Where did you fill your hole at safety in that edge? I do like, and I said it today, you got Woolen from Seattle. My question is going to be his brains. Other than that, the Woolen sign is the only thing you did. Getting Goddard back, he was in-house. Re-signing Jordan or giving him an extension. I'm talking about what did you do to make yourself better? Like, who'd you add? You lost 3 starters. You still lost 3 starters. Because you could have brought back Adoree Jackson, but you still have 3 starters out. You still got to replace Blankenship. You got to replace Dean. And you got to replace your edges. You haven't addressed it. And the kid you signed from Atlanta is not the guy. I'm sure you said the same. I was right last year. I was right. You didn't replace those players. If we get a decent compensation for AJ, we're in the playoffs. That won't happen till next year, the compensation. Oh, compensation, not the compensation picks. You're in the playoffs? Draft choices aren't going to help you this year. Lost 3 starters last year and was fine. Yeah, you got blown out in the fucking playoffs by a JV football team. What if AJ doesn't like the head coach? Wasn't it obvious after the Buffalo win and the game against the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs? So it's only signing Howie. Only signing Howie's doing is 1-year deals other than Davis. Looks like signing young cornerstones and go through a rebuild in the next 2 years on the fly. By the way, DFW, I think that keeps their window open. But here's the difference over the last 3 years. Chicago's going to continue to get better. I think the Rams getting McDuffie, that helps them immensely. I think Seattle's going to take a small step back, at least at the beginning of the season, because of Clint Kubiak They lost Kenneth Walker. I think Minnesota, that's going to be interesting to see what they do with Kyler Murray. If that coach can get the most out of him, I think the Giants have made too many moves. I would think the Giants are going to be good in the next 2 years. But see what Washington does with Jaden Daniels. That NFC West is going to be something to keep an eye on. I think the North is going to have a lot of good teams. I think the Lions are going to rebound. I think the Packers are going to be better. I just think Seattle, coordinator, players, they lost a lot of dudes, man. I think Dallas will be better. Okay. Last year, the Liars month or so, they were 500. That's right. After September, they were 7-7. They were 7-7. I agree. Stills, Skip, Ship. A. Jackson and my boy Dean were not all pros. The draft is coming too. Okay. Why so harsh on the regular law? Why so harsh on regular player losses? My friend, I don't know what the draft is going to help you with. I thought the draft helped you marginally last year. Year before that, it was sensational. But the year before that, when you went in 2022 or 23, the draft didn't help you. Did it? By the end of the year, your defense was giving up 145 yards a game rushing. You were 28th in defense. To sit there and say the draft is going to help you an immediate impact is insane. And by the way, I'm never one of these guys that does this on a Monday. I don't give grades like that. I do give grades on filling needs. But still, so you think the Eagles will have a good draft? I don't know. You think they'll have a bad draft? I don't know. How could you tell? Because the guy plays at Wisconsin and you watched him in college? You think that's going to translate? You got to wait and see, dude. You got to wait and see. Like, wait a minute. I got this written down here. You think you're going to find an impact edge at 23 this year? Do you? You guys think you're finding an edge? Yeah, and they benched Campbell. Nick will get exposed with the OC Stunad's they hired. Nick is gone. Correct. The draft is the biggest lottery gamble of all time. You have no idea. Just like Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Okay? I'd go O-line. That's a need. Now, I'll tell you what I won't do. I'm not going to pick the third best OT unless he's got a higher valuation in what I'm doing at 23. On the other hand, I might trade down because I got more needs and I need more depth. Sales, do you think it's more likely or less likely Goedert and Sweat are still on the table? Goddard deal. I don't believe you'll see Josh Sweat. There's a ton of money that would hit the Cardinals salary cap. Okay? Kemba was sat for a more seasoned player who got available. Totally different when saying he was benched. I don't care how you want to make yourself feel. They sat his ass because Nakobe Dean was a better ball player. You want to make yourself feel better about yourself? Have at it. I don't give a shit if a guy's a 14-year pro or a 2-minute pro. If a coach puts someone in and he's better and you want to make yourself feel better about yourself, they sat his ass. I didn't have a problem with him either. I thought Campbell was playing fine. But Vic thought the better player was Nakobe. And if you want to feel better about yourself, have at it. So what's the actual dollars in Goddard's deal? Yeah, those incentive things I wouldn't give a shit about. By the way, anything on a signing bonus? Did anybody see a signing bonus? What the signing bonus money was? Anybody? Did anybody see anything on a signing bonus? What the guaranteed money was? 4 or 5? There's your base. I mean, there's your salary. That 4 million is guaranteed. Okay. There was zero market for this guy. The Eagles had to bring him back because the amount on the cap would have been 20 million bucks. Now they made it even easier to move AJ Brown. This was all for AJ and moving AJ Brown. Yeah, up to 7. This guy signed this guy signed for 4.5 million bucks guaranteed on a 1-year deal. He took a $5.5 million pay cut. Yeah. I mean, right? Let's see here. In March of 22, tight end Zach Ertz signed a 3-year, $31.65 million extension with the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, 10 mil, right? You said he was, I thought he was. But again, if they had moved him, it was 20 million. And the Eagles thought better to bring him back, especially at 4.5 million, with incentives up to 7. Bro, they had to bring him back. And now you make it easier for this is all about AJ. Just how he made the mistake of letting Ertz go. I truly believe he wanted to keep Goddard, but for the right price. Okay? You were definitely wrong about Goddard being gone. I thought Goddard would be gone because I thought there'd be a market, but nobody wanted him. 5 other tight ends signed. Nobody wanted him. And the only people that had to do it were the Eagles because it'd be a $20 million hit. 4.5 million bucks. Nobody wanted him. I mean, nobody wanted to sign Dallas Goedert for 4.5 million with incentives. How come? You mean to tell me there wasn't one team that would take the guy at 4.5 million? It was better for the Eagles to sign the guy, or it'd be a $20 million hit. Okay. Wanted to stay a bird at 4.5 million and the $20 million cap hit? Bet your ass. Jules Goddard, he is just a different dude. Reports were he told Howie he would wait to see what Howie would do with the AJ deal. Goddard just wanted to stay home. This had everything to do with AJ Brown. Dude, they are actively trying to move him. They are working diligently, actually, in trying to work and move him. They are doing everything they can to move AJ Brown. I know some of you don't want to hear it, but it's a fact. AJ Brown is being moved. And it's now even more a fact that he's going to be moved. I think he wanted a multi-year deal. Well, wait a minute, Denny. You say he wanted a multi-year deal? Nobody wanted him. Let's see here. Dan, what's your take on the rumors of Josh Sweat wanting to go to the Eagles or Packers via trade? I have not heard that yet. And Howard Balzer covers the team, and he has not heard that yet either. Is Goddard market a product of a player or the agent? I think it's a product of the player. I don't give a shit who his agent. Lamar Jackson has his mom cutting deals. Player's good. Somebody will do business with whomever. They would do business with a chipmunk if they could. His agent, nobody wanted him. And the only person that needed him were the Eagles at because of the $20 million hit. Seals, wherever AJ ends up, I hope he gets his stats. But if the team sticks, if the team stinks, I don't want to see him without a smile on his face all the time because he could have gotten what he wanted. Absolutely. This is a great question. Here, Sills, what's the AJ trade going to look like in your eyes? Me personally, because it's going to be post June, okay, and it's going to be post June 1, I would say this. I would listen. I think the Birds one and three. The Patriots want to do a 2-3. I know this for a fact. Okay. The Pats are sitting at 2-3. If you look at what the Patriots did, and they got DK Moore or DJ Moore, that's not enough. That's just not enough. AJ Brown and DJ Moore. Now that looks good, especially with their tight end. Their tight end ain't bad. I saw him when he played. His best years were in, I think, with the Chargers, but him, DJ Moore, and AJ Brown for Drake May. Wait, DJ Moore went to the Bills. My bad. Dobbs. Thank you. Thank you, soccer. I just realized that. Yeah. Moore went to the Bills. Moore went to the Bills. Dobbs went to the Patriots. Dobbs ain't moving the needle. Thank you. Yes. That guy's not moving. Dobbs isn't moving anybody. A.J. Brown, he moves the needle. With the Eagles now $40 million in cap space after Goddard signing, what's the next best move for us moving forward with getting better in the future, Sells? How about this, too? It's a great question. I love this question. And I think you tell me if you agree. If I'm sitting at 23, there's probably 15 guys in this draft, 13 guys in this draft, okay, that are legitimate first rounders. If I don't see the guy that I like at number 23, I'm moving down and I'm parlaying more picks. I need depth in O-line. I need depth in D-line. I need a safety. I need a better tight end. I need some depth at corner. Let me ask you this. So are they bringing Adoree Jackson back? Has that been determined yet? What are you doing if one of your corners goes down? I mean, you don't have an Isaiah Rodgers there. Who's your corner if Woolen or Q go down? And you need an edge. Okay? Right? The draft, gigantic crapshoot, but okay. Mac and cheese. Ringo's a good special teams guy. Unfortunately, that's all he is. Why would they take 5 days to sign for nothing? Rasputin, because it had everything to do with trying to move A.J. Brown. And they couldn't get the deal done. They couldn't get it done. And I think it had everything to do with New England not budging off that 2 and making it a 1. There is no doubt. Here, tell you what I'm going to do. So let me text the Patriots. Let me text the Patriots. I just asked my friend with the Patriots if there's still a ton of conversation going on with AJ. So let's see what he says. Sills, J Max said the Eagles' philosophy of backloading years in contracts is starting to become a problem. Do you agree? I do. I do. It's starting to limit them on some of the moves they can make. Slay just retired. Great player. Absolutely fabulous. So are we watching Rams, Pats third round picks since the player could be who the Eagles told them to pick? Um, I don't believe it's going to be on draft day. I just don't. I think it's going to be post June 1. So, hey, who's that guy that asked me that really good question about what you would do with the picks? Your next 2 years, you can load up the team. You're going to get compensation picks next year for Phillips. Yeah, here we are. Martin, you're going to get compensation picks. By the way, guys, thank you very much for the super chats. You're going to get compensation picks next year for Phillips, maybe Dean. Um, maybe Blankenship. Says if we give the Rams AJ for the 13th pick and Devontae Adams, I saw that, Martin, that the Rams are trying to shop Devontae Adams and bringing and sending Adams to. I think Adams makes 28.7, so he's not cheap either. We aren't trading, so you're going to be so okay. Well, we'll see. I'll tell you what, we'll find out. I don't believe there's a chance in hell he's back. The Eagle fans have too emotionally moved on Via Slay. On CJ, listen, I don't really give a shit about the name on the back of the jersey unless he's a tenured guy like a Jason Kelsey or a Fletcher Cox. I don't give a shit about any of these guys. If it makes the team better, do it. That's how they look at the players. They don't look any other way. You think they get emotionally attached when they're moving a guy out the door? What do? They tell you that wow, we really love this guy. We really didn't want. Get this. How about this one here? Okay, think about it. We really loved the Kobe. We really loved him. He was really a great player. They still let him go. So my ears, it's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. We really loved the Kobe. We really loved him. We didn't want to pay him. Correct. You don't think the Kobe would have stayed if they would have gave him 12 million a year? Of course he would have stayed. Goddard's injury history also made it may have hurt him. Oh, it did. $4.5 million is what he's guaranteed. I mean, dude, this guy in the last 2 years has taken, let me see, 4.5. And now he's down to what? And this guy in the last, get this, this guy in the last 2 years has taken a $10 million pay cut. Dallas Goedert has taken a $10 million pay cut in 2 years to come play for the Eagles and stay with the Eagles. Woo! It's hilarious that moving AJ will make you so happy. I don't give a shit either way. You think it would destroy the Eagles? Actually, I think they'd be a better football team chemistry-wise. Be careful what you're begging for. It might not turn out in your favor in your favor. Hey, Marsh, that's not what I'm saying. I don't give a shit if he's here or not. It's time to build the defense. Offense had its chance. Now it's time to have an elite defense all around. Hey, Martin, you had an elite defense 2 years ago. More picks, more sacks, less production. Rasputin. In 2022, you had 70 sacks. In 2024, you probably had half that number. And you won the Super Bowl. Sacks at times could be overrated. I don't understand if a trade couldn't happen until June for AJ. Why does that hold up the Goedert deal? They had to get the $20 million to make sure that if they make the AJ deal, the AJ Brown deal, that they don't have money and they have all the cap room. Remember, they still got to sign their draft picks. You need about $23 million to sign in your draft picks. By the way, Angelo Cataldi is going to join us. And boy, all that shit going on at WIP and Angelo and Howard Eskin. Those guys were talking about the state. Shit, they've been talking about the state of WIP for the last 3 years here and how shitty it is. And then you have John. Who's John fucking Marks? Honest to God, I never heard of the guy's name until I got here to Philly. John Marks? Okay. Yeah, okay. All those dudes that are on the air now, I like Hugh. I don't think that guy that's with him is that bad. But the rest of them, I don't know. But wouldn't you want the room regardless of AJ? I would. He took less sacks because he left a clean pocket for 2 seconds and ran out of bounds or threw it away instead of getting past the first read. He did the midday with Reese and left for 97.5. Yeah, 97.5. The station that nobody knows anything about. That's probably going to be like smooth jazz in a year. Okay. Sills watch a lot of WIP. Yeah, because you know why? That's where the Eagles and the Philly guys talk, not for the host. Dude, that's the flagship station for the Phillies and the Eagles. That's where the news is going to go because those teams, they feed those hosts. You ever seen a player drafted and then moved post June 1? No, I have not seen that. 97.5, we have Mike Pissanelli. Oh, wait. We fired him too. Well, if what is his name? If Vic Fangio said that that the Eagles are the training ground for the NFL 31 teams, Jacob's the training ground for all the talk show hosts in Philadelphia. Barrett Brooks, name it. Go ahead, name them all. Bill Cunnilingus, a little bit. Hugh is a mascot. Man, I don't know about that. I like Hugh. I'm good with Hugh. I'm all right with that. I think he's got some good takes. I think he's a pretty good personality too. I do. Still, any move with AJ and the Rams would require Fisk ends up in Kelly Green. Fisk makes that interior defensive line unit scary. Man, would he ever. I like him too. I think he's a heck of a player. Slade trade will Slade trade will go down as one of the great Eagle trades of all time. Traded him for a 3 and a 5. In return was 3 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl championship, and mentored Q and Cooper DeJean. I think that's pretty damn on. And I would agree with that completely. Hey, by the way, okay, here's the latest. I would never. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna get the latest on AJ Brown and the Patriots. Now, there's a couple dudes in that building. There's like 3 other guys that we know too. So, regardless of AJ's numbers, the passing attack is at the bottom of the league. I don't think it's targets necessarily. I think it's the quarterback. Because Anthony Gargago says that the AJ deal isn't happening. Yeah. Okay. Anthony Gargano, another guy. Rossini waiting patiently as well. I think she's really plugged in. I really do. Okay. I do. Yeah. The Eagles are dumb to have Whippus ass their flag station nowadays. Actually, I think it's brilliant because they could have the Pied Pipers saying whatever they want. Bob Lang is basically the program director of the entire station now. You know, the program director that they got from Phoenix, who thinks he knows Philly, he's not the real program director. The real program director on WIP is Bob Lang. The pick obtained for Carson Wentz ultimately turned into AJ. Got to be up there on the great trades. Absolutely. We're believing anything Rossini says now. Bro, I'm going to give you guys a little insight one more time. Do you understand that Ian Rappaport, Diana Rossini, Albert Breer, all these guys are text on group messages by the agents and sometimes by the general managers? That it's a group text? Did you not know that? Do you know that when John McMullen gets notified on something, do you know it's a group text to the reporters that cover the team? And then there's a national group with the Jay Glazers that Bob Lang wants to feed out some information to. Everything is on like a group text nowadays. Like, I'm not saying John, but I'm saying some of the people, they don't do their work anymore because the agents are sending the information. They're not going knee deep in anything. They're being fed this. Listen, you don't like hearing the truth. I think Diana Rossini is absolutely spectacular. So I love how the local guys with contacts are never used when it comes to breaking news. Bob Lang uses the national guys. That's right, because he wants the national perception to bleed down to the local perception. You don't let it start locally and then go nationally. You start nationally for locally. You understand? It's a procedure. It's a strategy. You got guys on Get Up on the ESPN or on Fox Sports, FS1. It bleeds down. The local guys pick it up, and then Bob Lang will throw some crumbs out at him. That's how it's working. These guys are all on group. Armando Salguero told me how it worked. Armando Salguero's on a group text from agents and from general managers. That's how they get their information. That's why you see all these numbers out. These deals haven't even been ratified yet by the collective bargaining agreement and by the NFL Players Association. I mean, they haven't even been like talked about. They're not even on the desk yet when it comes to this. So, I mean, Angelo Cataldi is going to be with us. They get info in those group texts from agents, but how much of that is, to influence outcomes of, yes, it totally does. Totally does. Like, here, I'll give you an instance. So Trey Hendrickson, through his agent, wanted to play in Tampa. And Adam Schefter went out and basically said it'd be a great fit in Tampa for Trey Hendrickson. Well, the Bucs heard that, and the Bucs got involved. Well, the Bucs didn't want to go and do 3 years. They did 2 years or 4 years. They didn't want to do 4 years. They did 2 years. And they didn't want to pay the money up front. And that's how the Bucs got knocked out of that deal. Because the money started getting too rich after the whole thing was sabotaged with Crosby. Once the Crosby deal went sideways, Hendrickson's value went up. Do you understand what these media guys and the agents did to Max Crosby and to Trey Hendrickson? You elevated Trey Hendrickson's value. And the Eagles got in late on it. They got in too late. And Crosby's value dropped because he failed the physical. Hendrickson's value went up. That's why you started seeing Colts, Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Buccaneers. All these teams started diving in on it because they started getting nervous and freaked out over the physical and what Baltimore did with Crosby. Seals, what's the deal with the Bucs and Baker's contract? Who gets the extension first, Hurts or Mayfield? Mayfield, in my opinion, I think they're going to kick the can down the road, and I think they're going to wait until next offseason to try to get it done before March 14th of 27. I mean, I think they're going to let him play out that final year of the $30 million deal. Angelo Cataldi is going to join us in a couple minutes here. By the way, this thing here has been one of the most absolutely talked about things going on. So I want to tell you guys a little bit before we get Angelo up here. So Armando Salguero, who's a Hall of Fame voter and works for Outkick, told me something about some of these reporters that you see and how guys like at WIP or other stations get the information. Do you know that the majority of the people nowadays, and not Angelo's time, which was just what, 3-4 years ago? Do you know these guys are on group texts now? Do you know that the agents, like Nicole Lynn, Jalen Hurts' agent, she has a group text of 5-6 people she sends out contract information to. These guys aren't doing their work anymore. They're being fed this stuff. So when you're being fed stuff like when WIP gets a noise, then they get some information. You know what Bob Lang does? Remember, the information and the perception he wants is he wants it to go nationally first, and then he'll throw some of the crumbs out to the local guys. And then the local guys become the Pied Piper. And then it looks like it's the same noise. You ever tune on CNN or you ever tune on Fox? It's the same talking points. Where do you get the same talking points from? The PR guys at these teams. By the way, it's not just an Eagle thing. It's today's society because of accessibility. Everyone wants a key fob. Angelo Cataldi never gave a shit about a key fob. You understand? People fight for key fobs today, not information, because key fobs is accessibility. That's where we are in today's broadcasting. So Angelo has been talking this for over a year now about the current status of broadcasting and journalism in Philadelphia. You go to angelocataldi.com. You can read his blog. He talks about it all the time. And without further ado, I never really thought that this was going to be any kind of issue here, but it is. And all of a sudden, it's now gone national and it's gone viral. We bring in our friend. We bring in Angelo Cataldi, who was on with Howard Eskin a couple days ago. These guys kind of kicked up I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it in Italian, a shitsatoodle storm. I got to ask you first, and I would like you, because you and Howard were talking about the current state of WIP, the radio station in Philadelphia. And here was Spike Eskin's retort. This is disappointing and embarrassing for them. This is the most talented staff WIP has ever had. Our ratings lap theirs. And we all get along inside of trying to backstab each other like they did. We showed them respect, said they can't, instead they can't enjoy their own lives. Angelo, love to hear you.
I got to just say, my little 3-year-old grandson just poked his head in, and that's what it's really all about. Not this stuff, Dan. But let me research. Here's the thing. Now, first of all, a lot of that backstabbing and stuff that we were doing was designed to create excitement. He doesn't know that. He was the son of Howard Eskin. If he doesn't know it, who does, right? The other thing is, oh my God, stop the presses, Dan. 2 old guys got together and started talking about how much better they did their jobs than these young whippersnappers that are working today. Give me a friggin' break, will you please? And I've been communicating with Howard since our conversation, and the conversation was not designed to create any sort of an issue. And I said to him, why don't you tell your son Spike and all the other people over there that they can take a bow for how amazing they are now, ignoring the fact that they basically built this station on Howard's shoulders and then mine. All right, we'll ignore that. Come back to me in another 30 years and then tell me how great your numbers are or how you're lapping people. First of all, radio today is so different than it was even 5 years ago. If you want to hear music today, you aren't going to a radio station. You're going to, iTunes. You're going to podcasts. You're going to other places to get the music. So when the percentage, you see the percentage, we got 18% of the audience now. Yeah, because there's no more music stations around. Of course, there's a whole different competitive field now than it was even 5 years ago. So please don't hand me how great you're doing in the ratings, because frankly, the only ratings you care about are the ratings that those businesses you represent. In the case of WIP, you represent baseball and football. You represent the Phillies and the Eagles. As long as they're happy, you're happy. All right? And that's a problem. That's not my generation of doing sports talk. My generation was at least rooted in journalism, which is rooted in accountability. Let me give you an example of how absurd this situation is right now. Rob Thompson has been the manager of the Phillies for 4 seasons. They have underperformed in the postseason all 4 years. I'm telling you, Dan, the next thing that's written negatively about Rob Thompson will be the first thing that has ever been written or spoken about the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. You know why? He's a nice guy. Come on. He's a good guy. He talks to us. He's sweet. Hey, how's the family doing? Oh, that's what matters. No, the audience matters. Nothing else matters. And if they saw the emails I get 3 years after retirement every day from people going, when are they going to criticize somebody? When are they going to hold somebody accountable? And I go, I don't think they are anymore. I think that era has passed. And you know what? If they were, it's no, I don't care if they're upset. It never bothered me to be upset. Howard asked me an honest question. I gave an honest answer. I've done that my whole life. I'm not going to change it now because I'm worried that Spike Eskin's going to get all skitsy. Oh no, he's saying mean things. We're better now than they were. Yeah. Okay.
They could see. It was called recycling with us.
Yeah.
That we recycled. We wanted the afternoon show to talk about us,
Mm.
and we were going to talk about the
Yes.
afternoon show, and it
We
kept
did a
the
lot of
wheel
that.
going, and it was
Yeah.
called recycling. And if
Yes.
you got a little sensitive over it, you were missing what it was and what we
Exactly.
were all trying to do.
Exactly.
Do you think they miss that element of radio today that they don't understand because they seem awful insecure?
Well, they're insecure because they have a different agenda now. They're trying to please different people, right? They're really interested in pleasing the teams they talk about, which is a dumb agenda. It's dumb. Let me tell you right now, you come out, say 10 great things about Bryce Harper today and 10 great things about Kyle Schwarber tomorrow, and see if they invite you to dinner. It's not going to happen. You're getting played. You understand? And the fact is that maybe you don't have a choice now. Look, I don't know. All I can say is for all the crowing that Spike Esker did about the current state of WIP and radio and all that, last time I heard they were like pretty much bankrupt. They're $300 million in the red or something. I don't know. It's something. And so we were bringing more money in. How's that? We win. Howard, we won.
So wait a minute. Let me get this right here. That is that's an Imus take. Yeah, that guy has higher ratings, but guess what? I was number 3 in the country in billing.
Yeah.
You want to know who's important in the building? So you guys held the money belt. These guys hold the crow belt. Because you're right.
Don't know.
It's almost Odyssey's almost a penny stock now. So
yeah,
I mean,
but in all fairness, it was heading in that direction when I was there. and some would argue it was because of what they were paying me.
Man, I'll tell you this. You know what else too? I could guarantee with the money that Angelo Cataldi was making, you could probably fill that entire station up with the salary that you were making. Not to sit there and have you.
I'm not divulging any number. You know, here's a quick story. Here's a quick story. So when I wrote the book originally, for some dumb reason, I put all my salaries in it. What I made right to the end. And it was in the first draft. And I gave my friend Kenny, he got one of the people I just wanted to bounce it off. And he contacted me. He went, "Are you nuts? If you put these numbers in, it's not going to be good. People are going to go, what is that? That's crazy." So I took them out. Best thing I did in that whole book was taking those numbers out of there because that would have caused some problems. All right.
Boy, yeah. Well, I know. I kind of know because David Fields doesn't have a job now because of Angelo Cataldi, and he was the owner of Odyssey.
He called me for a loan last week. I'm thinking it over.
Hey, I do have to bring this one up too. So John Mark said he worked over at, WIP, and he said that he's lost a lot of respect for you because of
me. Okay.
Yeah, he said he's lost respect for you and how you're going after your former employer at WIP.
All right, John, you're right, and I'll lie the next time I'm asked. All right, is that better? Is that okay? Because it's more important I not, shatter the sensibilities of John Marks or Spike Eskin by telling my truth. And my truth isn't necessarily the truth. It's just mine. I think we did it in a more courageous and more honest way than they do it now. That's all I said. And if that's a problem, good, get upset. I don't really care. I didn't care when the players got upset. I didn't care when the managers got upset. I'm going to care when fellow talk show hosts get upset. No, I really don't give a damn.
So you don't think WIP's in a good place right now, right?
Well, I don't think here's the problem. But WIP is part of a much bigger story, which is no one's doing it. You understand? Other than Marcus Hayes. I'm going to keep going. Marcus Hayes is still doing it. And now it stands out because no one else will take a strong opinion on anything. No one wants to go near it. Even really talented writers are not going after hot opinion now. They're not going after strong takes on big issues. And that's my complaint. It's not exclusive to WIP. It's everywhere. in Philadelphia right now. The pussies have taken over. And the people that used to do it, oh God, if you were back in the 80s or 90s, Dan, you were young then, but between the Daily News had like 5 killer columnists, or something went wrong. Norman Braman was the owner of the Eagles in the 80s. The viciousness of Stan Hockman, Mark Wicker,
Colin
attacked them.
Bill
Right?
Colin.
Yeah. Bill Colin was he was a baseball writer who in the middle of a game story would do 10 paragraphs of opinion on somebody. Yeah, it's not like that anymore. If you are part of that and you're still here now, you can see how far it has evolved away from what I thought was the psyche of the Philadelphia sports fan.
Do you think, Angelo, that the current status of not just Philly, but sports talk in general, do you think you're now kind of the you're kind of a servant to the organizations that are on their stations now, and you're not men of the people anymore? Because to me, I'm with you. My number one objective is to my audience, and I tell people this all the time. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm a fan of you, because I love your responses, and I love talk. You know what the thing I love the most about Philadelphia, because you in your book kind of educated me. I love the passion of the fans. Am I an Eagle fan? I'd be a bullshit artist if I told you I was. I'm not. But what I am a fan of how these people respond to their team and how much love they have for their team. My job is to my fans, or to the fans that love sports, fans of sports, and the people I talk to. That's my number one objective. I have no other caring. I don't give a shit about anybody else, what they think of me or what, but what the people I speak to. It could be 2 people a day, or it could be 2,000 people a day. I think we've lost that, Angelo.
Well, then I'm going to make this personal for a second. All right. What you just said, I get asked all the time, a lot of email. Why do you just go on Sileo? You don't go on anybody else at any sort of regularity. Why are you going on him? And I say to them, because Dan is doing the job that I did the way that I did it. And that is looking first at what's most important, the audience. If they don't like you, you've got nothing. You've got nothing. The minute you do the bidding of a team and in some way are doing it against your audience, you are hurting not just your station, but yourself. You don't have any credibility at that point. When you pull a punch, when nobody will come out and say the manager of the Phillies is killing them. He has just blown an entire era without a championship because he doesn't know how to manage into big games. No one's written it. No one said it, right? No one's taken a shot at Sirianni when he took an entire season last year, threw it in the toilet and flushed, all in the spirit of honoring Kevin Petula, who had no idea what he was doing as the offensive coordinator. No one has taken a shot at Sirianni. I've been listening. I've been writing. I've been reading. Nobody's doing it. And those are the kind of things, to me, if you're a fan of a team and you're frustrated, that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to see. And they don't do it anymore. And that, to me, is why they're not doing that great a job anymore. Anywhere, not just WIP. All the sports media in Philadelphia, they're a bunch of pussies. Put that in your headline. They're a bunch of pussies.
Wow. I mean, that's quite a statement there, especially in Angela. Why do you think that those guys don't want to give you guys the credit, you and Howard, for building that station? I mean, and now all of a sudden they're the greatest thing that's ever happened. Hey, no disrespect, and I know Howard's watching right now, but hey, Howard, I mean, sometimes the apple doesn't fall far from the. Sometimes it falls far from the tree. Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you, man, you and Howard, dude, there was WFAN wasn't like that. Mike and the Mad Dog, you know, WIP, Angelo, was first before WFAN. You guys were a year before then. You beat them. That station beat them. You weren't there yet, I don't think. But then
we were first in the morning. Imus was their morning guy for a long time. We were the first ones doing every day sports in the morning. We did 6 to 10, first with Brookie and then with Tony Bruno and Al Morgan. Look, they did plenty to honor us. God, they did more than enough to honor us. What Spike was saying, we showed you great respect and now you're not showing us any. No, that is not it at all. If you showed us respect, it wasn't requested. It wasn't something we went, well, now that we're leaving, we want a Hall of Fame created for us. So we would really like a parade if it's not asking too much. So, something real nice like that. No, the point is,
yeah,
yes,
but wait, Angelo, Angelo,
what we gave to them.
Yeah, but Angelo, isn't honoring you continue the tradition of making sure that you service
They
the people?
did that. I am asking nothing from them. When I had a book, they gave me every opportunity to promote it on my old station. And now I have nothing but, look, I don't love the way they do it now, but maybe they don't have a choice because the whole media operation at Philly now does not allow strong opinion anymore. I don't know. Or honest opinion. I don't think there's a lot of honest opinion anymore. I think it's all couched in concerns about the reaction you're going to get somewhere. That never was an issue with me. But look, I might have to do it different now, Dan, if I was still doing it in Philadelphia. I don't know. Maybe the audience doesn't want that the way they did before. I don't know. The people that email me did, but I can't tell you what younger people do. I'm 75. I'm a dinosaur. Oh, my God. I'm going to need a walker in another year or so.
I don't think so. Not the response that you got here. Okay. I want to give you a little bit. Okay. I text you this person's name before. I want to ask you about, first and foremost, let me go here with Howard Roseman. So he's now Howard Roseman to me and not Howie Roseman. He's now Howard Roseman.
Oh.
What kind of offseason do you think he's had so far?
Well, it's funny you should say that since I just posted a blog about it. And the headline of the blog is Howie Roseman is blowing it. He's blowing it. He's destroying what he created, which was the best roster in the NFL. It isn't anymore. It isn't close to it because he's lost 8 of the starters from the Super Bowl defense of less than 2 years ago. They're gone now. He lost 3 more of them this past week. He lost Blankenship, and he lost Phillips, and he lost Dean, right? Yeah. You got to have somebody to replace him with.
And by the way, Angelo, in 2 years, they've lost half the roster since the Super Bowl team.
Yeah. And the thing about Howie is he was always praised with good reason for managing the cap so well that he could still maintain a high level of talent on the team. And that appears to now not be true based on he got one guy that people knew because he just was on a Super Bowl team, Tariq Woolen. All right. And he got that guy. But Seattle didn't want him. You understand?
No.
He was a pain in the ass.
Yep.
Right? He was a troublemaker. He was their A.J. Brown.
That's right.
So while we're still trying to unload A.J. Brown, we brought another one in just in case. We may end up with 2, one on each side of the ball. That would be kind of fun. But Woolen he's the guy that made a big play in the playoffs and then got nailed for taunting and he blew the play. The guy is out of control. And they gave him $15 million for one season. Well, if you're having cap issues, I'm not sure you want to get a malcontent and give him $15 million for 1 year. I don't get there's nothing that he's done this offseason that has impressed me. Starting from Sean Mannion, a guy who's never called a play. 3 times now in 5 years, we're going to have somebody coming in.
Actually, 2 off seasons now in a row. He's really better. 2
off. He let him do it again. He did it again. Does anyone know if Mannion can call plays? Does Mannion know? Well, they let him do it. After what just happened with Petullo, they did it again. So that's a terrible move. Losing those defensive players, a terrible move. God, they strung Goddard out. Goddard is, to me, still one of the top 10 tight ends in football. He's paid 23rd. His pay is 23rd among tight ends right now.
Actually, Angelo, they made him take a $10 million pay cut in the last 2 years.
Yeah. And the thing is, He was their go-to guy in the big games down the stretch this year. He was the go-to guy. Not even A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. He was the guy. But they keep disrespecting. To me, that's disrespect. But I don't like a thing that Howie's done so far in this offseason. Not one thing. And I have a feeling it will show itself in the next season when they play the games.
I just sent you something. And I just sent you something on your phone. And I'm going to read something to you here, and I'll read it to you. And I can't say his name here, but I asked a question about AJ Brown, and I'm going to ask you. Nobody can him till after June 1st. Nobody can get him until after June 1st.
Right.
Teams are going to stay in touch until then. Right. This is somebody with the New England Patriots who's in their front office right now with the Patriots.
Okay.
Who told me a couple weeks ago that they've only offered up a 2 and a 3. They don't want it to be a 1. And so as of right now, they're waiting until June 1. Do you believe that Howie, because I think they're doing everything they can to move him right now.
They are.
Do you think that AJ will be on this team come September?
No. He's more than ever, I believe they will unload him. And that's the magic date, June the 1st. By that date, he will be gone. I'm convinced of it. And then they will find out that they made a mistake because they are not going to be able to replace that talent. They are.
And does that mean we're in a rebuild then?
Retool, they call it now, Dan. Not rebuild. We don't want to make it sound like people shouldn't pay attention to us. We're tweaking a little bit here, a little bit there. No, what you're doing is you're going downhill. Your roster is not as good as it was. It's getting worse. Your defensive coordinator didn't even know for sure if he wanted to come back this year. You lost the best position coach in the history of your franchise, and Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach. You are not going in a positive direction. There is no one, not even Spike Eskin, or John Marks, who could come on and somehow take this turd of what's happened in the offseason and apply a nice wax sheen on the turd. All right. This is a turd of an offseason. It stinks. And somebody needs to say it. I did on my blog today. And no one else is going to do it. I know that.
I'll tell you this, Angelo, it's aggravated you, hasn't it? How like people in the media have kind of like taken what you said and kind of stretched it like a rubber band into something that it's not really.
There's an interesting thing, and I've since this thing exploded the last day or two, I've been a number of media outlets have checked in with me to see what I want to say about it. And there's only one thing I won't say under any conditions, and that's no comment. And the reason I won't, I had a career of 50 years in the media that relied tremendously on other people to comment to me. And it's like, I see when there's like a controversy with ESPN, and then you'll see the little note in the story, ESPN declined to comment. No, you didn't. You shouldn't. You can't. Other people, you rely on other people to comment. You don't have a right to hide, to run away and hide when it's your turn to talk. So no, you don't. You got to speak what you feel. And Dan, there's an easy way to do it. And you do it. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know how you answer a tough question? Honestly, give your honest opinion and don't give a damn whether it's bothering somebody. Because if it's bothering somebody, it's their problem, not yours. It's only your problem if you let it bother you. So
you think people are afraid today?
Yes, of course they are. You had an incident a year or so ago where Bob Lang, the PR guy, called your boss up because he didn't like the criticism.
I want to be fired.
He went,
called me an anti-Semite. Said I was an anti-Semite too, or something like that.
Oh, geez. That's the other thing. Let's get to the woke issues. Get to the diversity issues so we can really pile on. Bullshit. All right. Here's the fact. You stood up to him. Your bosses stood up to him. That's the only thing you can do in this environment unless you want to cash your chips and become part of their PR department. And a lot of people catch their chips and became part of their PR department.
Do you think WIP is a sounding board for the Eagles right now and the Phillies?
Yeah, as long as they take calls, it is. As long as they take phone calls, it is. But if it gets to a point where they're filtering out negative comments, like a lot of the people that call my show regularly have communicated to me that they're less welcome on the shows than they were when I was there, when Howard was there. That Howard would love for you to come on and give a theory so he could call you a nitwit. It was funny. It was good. It was a lively exchange of ideas. The people that I talk to, and I even watch games with them once in a while, say it's less of an environment that embraces harsh criticism of any teams or any players than it was 5 years ago. And I'm basing a lot of what I said on information outside of the normal realm, from emails, from people who are contacting me, texting me, let me know that strong opinion now is nowhere near as welcome as it was even 5 years ago.
Man, did you think you could survive today?
I wasn't sure I could survive 5 years ago. So it was I would.
Wait a second. Is that why? And I know that you were talking about how at the end you had to be reminded, but I mean, Angelo, come on. I mean, who cares about being reminded a couple things about here or there? You're still great on the air. My question: did it get to a point where you started seeing the way the game was being directed, that there were different roads? Is that kind of what also expedited? Because you could easily have done it 2 more years.
No, I would have if I could. If I had a brain that worked the way it did when I was even 10 years ago, I probably would have stayed to fight this. And during the conversation I had with Howard, I made one specific example. In fact, I did another interview today where they said, is there any time you wish you were back on WIP? And I said, well, the 2. One was right after they won the Super Bowl a year ago. I would have loved to be back that day. And the other one was when that absolutely insulting and stupid campaign to raise the spirits of Trey Turner was going on with a guy who was formerly my intern and is now a producer on the afternoon show, works with Spike. I don't even remember his name. It's not important. You shouldn't remember his name. But anyway, and he did the campaign basically to get people to give Trey Turner, making $300 million on an 11-year contract, hitting 230 in August. Let's give him a standing ovation. Now, here's the irony. It did kind of work, but it's stupid. It's not Philadelphia. You understand? When that story got national attention, I was embarrassed for my city. And I would have come on, Dan, if they'd asked me to come back for a week, the week after that dope put out that stupid Trey Turner standing ovation thing, I would have done a week for no reason but to sabotage that campaign. And I would have done it. They did it. When Spike was our boss, he did a Andy Reid Appreciation Day. And for 1 week, we did nothing but attack the promotion. And Joe Conklin did bits off it and all. We basically said to our bosses, screw you, we aren't doing it. And then that day, I welcomed only people that hated Andy Reid to call up. That's the way. So you fight it. I fought it the whole time I was there. I fought people that weren't going to hold sports figures accountable in the city that did it best. You understand? In the 80s and the 90s, no city suffered fools at all when it came to Philadelphia. We were the best at not suffering fools. And now that's over. All right, that's over. The battle is won, but I would have fought that to the end. Honestly, that was just.
Last 2 questions for you, Angelo. I mean, so when do you think it turned? When was the turning point?
It was turning when I was there. It turned when the teams more than ever started to exercise the leverage of having business relationships with the sports stations, right? Back 20 years ago, even not even the Eagles, who were always the big guy in the city, they wouldn't try it. They weren't really doing it. They made a couple of lame efforts, but they knew about the sanctity of a free opinion. If you're in sports talk, all you really have, your currency, is your opinion. And if you start selling that off as part of a business deal so you can broadcast the Phillies games or the Eagles game, you're selling off one of your greatest assets. And it was happening. They were trying it. But I was grandfathered. I was there so long, and I was so loud the whole time I was there, that they realized if we do this, it'll just come back on us. He'll go after us, and it'll be a big thing, and then it'll be written up, and then there'll be all this hoo-ha. Just let him go. He'll eventually fade away, which I did. They were right. And then we'll move in. And I think now they're exerting their power way more than they did when I was there.
Okay, so do you agree then that it's kind of like a tequila shot that's been watered down? And it's been watered down in Philadelphia, that the host, like you guys, you and Howard, you guys were this strong shot every day. And now, because of the team's influences and how much money that's being generated now, too, because Odyssey spends like what, $4 or $5 million just to air the Philadelphia Eagle games on.
Oh yeah, easy.
So, I mean, you're not going to, and plus the salespeople, they're going to go in and complain when Angelo Cataldi's banging on Nick Sirianni, this and that. That means your boss is going to roll in. And so what they do now is they dilute these hosts. Do you believe that that's what's happened at IP? Is that they're
I think whether it's that brazen, it's out in front, or whether it's done subtly, yeah, it's definitely having an effect. No doubt about it. And to just extend the tequila shot thing in this scenario with the tequila shot, the worm is Bob Lang, the PR guy of the Eagles. They have the worm in the bottom of the bottle. That's Bob Lang. All right. He's the guy who thinks he can control the message in Philadelphia of what's being said about the Eagles. And I guess he's winning. I don't know, Dan. It wouldn't be winning if I were there. It wouldn't be winning. They might have to fire me at some point. They go, come on, we're paying all this money for these games, and this guy's trashing them. Get rid of him.
Hey, look what Fox did to Tucker Carlson. He was bringing in $29 million a year. He said something off the cuff the company didn't like about a pharmaceutical company, and they blew him out at Fox News.
Yep.
Finally here, last question here for you. So when Spike Eskin says those things to you, and John Marks and other hosts who are saying snarky things about you and Howard today, and it's their first time the response, saying that they're better and doing it better than what you are doing it. And just, again, lastly here, one last comment for you. What do you say to that when they say we're doing it better than you old fossils?
All right. Well, all right. This is where it's going to get a little weird for me. All right. Because I'm in a bad spot here, Dan. All right. First of all, they should think that we thought we were doing it. We thought we were reinventing the wheel when we did it. You have to believe you're doing it great, because to do this job, I don't have to tell you this, you know it, you got to have a massive ego. So they should believe that. Even whether it's true or not, they should believe it. But it's very, very hard for me to say anything negative about Spike Eskin. As I reported in my book, the only reason I'm here right now talking to Dan Sileo is because he saved my life. I'm not making this up. Spike Eskin saved my life. We're doing a photo shoot for Wawa like 6-7 years ago. And I was supposed to be the guy in the middle, and they were selling their new cheesesteaks. And I was supposed to, when the photographer said to take a big chomp out of this cheesesteak. And I did. And then, all right, we're going to have to shoot it again. Hold on. And now I got it in my mouth. I don't know exactly what to do. So I'm kind of in between spitting it out or swallowing it. And it got stuck, badly stuck, to where I was freaking, turning blue. Spike Eskin came along behind me and Heimlicked me. It took 2 shots. The second shot, the cheesesteak went flying. I owe my life to Spike Eskin. How can I come on now with the breath he gave me and rip him?
You're not ripping him because it's over a cheesesteak.
So I'm highly conflicted. So I would say this, in light of the fact that I just turned 75 years old, Spike, do what you need to do, my friend. I'm here for you.
My God.
By the way, a postscript to the story. Postscript to the story. So I was talking to Howard about this the other day. And I said, Howard, if you were there instead of your son, would you have saved my life? And Howard said, I doubt it.
Oh my God. Those are the days we miss. That's the best radio on the planet there. So the reason you're not going to take shots back at Spike is because of a cheesesteak saving moment.
Yes.
And a Heimlich move that saved your life.
The true story. It's in the friggin' book. Read it.
Oh my God, Angelo. I just cannot wait for this, man. Thank you so much. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I saw the stories going viral and I'm like, he's been saying this shit for the last year and a half. I go, what are you talking about? He's been talking about he wasn't just talking about Philly. He was talking about everywhere, but he lives here. And I'm like, anyway, Angelo, make sure you guys go to the blog too, angelocataldi.com. And make sure you read it here because the headline says this: Howie Roseman's blowing it. Only way. Howie Roseman.
I was worried when I was typing it up because I'm not really good technically that the it would be cut out.
Angelo, thank you so much, my friend. We will catch you again.
See you later.
Thank you. Angelo Cataldi, the great. Oh my God. Big compliment from Angelo. I'm getting it over on my social media. Yes, I think it's really cool. And I think it's great. One of the reasons he only comes on here is because we're the last kind of guys who do it this way. Yeah, well, I'm not changing for anything. You know, I shaved up a little bit because Xander started talking and saying I was getting old. So, you know, and plus also too, Mike, what's his name? Mike Cardano said it too. Make sure you shave a little bit because you can't be old or anything like that. So I'm like, yo, okay. So, okay, I want to read you guys something here from the New England Patriots. By the way, it was a great compliment. And I appreciate that. And I'm glad that, you know, he feels that way about us. He was lost. I don't want to hear anything about it being because he was a new offense because Spencer Rattler. Oh, you must be talking about the Saints. Okay. I'm starting to think that way a little bit. I am. Damn, looks like we're keeping it. You're not keeping AJ. It's over with. Okay. Skip said the deal is done. I think it's Denver. It's not going to Denver. It's going to New England. So it's because how easy it is to be on your phone. Correct, Jason. Plus the platforms. So I'm going to give you. Okay. So let's see here. So let me, okay, listen. Okay. June 1. Here is what the executive from the Patriots texts me. So I got to do this. Let's do this here. can't have him until June 1st. Eagles have said we can't do anything until June 1. Teams are staying in touch, and teams are going to stay in touch until then. They're waiting until June 1st. Boom. He's gone. Jeffrey Lurie needs to just take his analytics and shove him. Get away with the birds. Get away from the birds, Julian. You stink. Okay? Bills win the division. Not with A.J. Brown there. See here. Hey, by the way, it's irrelevant, guy. I'm telling you what the Patriots are thinking right now. You should be more in tune with that, with what I'm saying. Instead, talking shit about something that's totally stupid. Okay? At least always keep the goatee. Can't do it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my eyesight, bro. Seals, do you have any brothers or sisters? I think so. I don't want it. I think so. Do I have any brothers or sisters? I'll have to check with my dad. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him in about 12 years, but we're all right. Yeah, I think so. So will the Patriots do in the draft? So will what the Patriots do in the draft? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Sills, as diehard Eagle fan, it will benefit the entire offense. Even the new unknown receivers will benefit from AJ's departure. The man will always struggle wherever he goes. He's self-centered. Yes. Okay. I actually don't drink. I drink 1 Coke a day, dude. 2 Cokes. 1 for dinner. Sometimes I have iced tea. But it's not what I do. I don't drink a ton of them. That's not true. Someone needs to get AJ in order to stay competitive. Bills, Patriots, Ravens need to land AJ. As long as he's out of the NFC, I'd be good with that. No, Spike, for whatever reason, Spike blocked me. I don't know why. I've never spoken to him. I don't even know him. Okay? I know, Sue. I got to drink more water. My wife and kid drink a ton of it. Sills, you want AJ gone badly, huh? No, I don't give a shit either way. I mean, I want him gone too, but this tickles your... No, Marsh, I don't give a shit either way. It's great content. Are you kidding? Marsh, I want him on the team to destroy it next year. It's going to be great content. I don't want him gone. Who what? Covered Devontae Smith who says nothing? You have me wrong. Why would I want A.J. Brown gone? I want to watch him destroy your team. Why in God's name would I want that guy gone? Are you kidding? Wanting him gone? Are you kidding me? I wish he had 3 of them. I mean, right? Too much analytics and offense is what I'm saying. Ever notice when the play calling is weird and makes no sense? Yeah, it's correct. Sills, running a half marathon this Saturday. You ever run one before? No, but my wife and I think the most we ever ran, Hey, Kim, how long did we run at the Cowboy Complex? Well, how many miles? 14? We ran 14 miles one time. My girlfriend she was my girlfriend then. She wasn't even sweating. It was at Valley Ranch. We ran half a marathon. We ran 14 miles. Cowboys have a mile track, and we went 14 miles. I'm sweating my baguettes off. And my girl wasn't even she had no sweat on her. She could have went another 14 easily. Back then, Kim could have went 28 miles. Shields, do you think when AJ leaves, this will open up a Pandora's box for other wide receivers on shitty teams to want out? They do that anyway. Oh, really? You've seen Sills? Sills' wife is a looker. What the fuck does she see in him? That's what my daughter asked. My wife, you kidding me? My wife is a smoke machine. Beautiful. Crazy, but beautiful. Let's see here. What'd you think I was going to do? What do you think? I wasn't going to marry the prom queen? The hell do you think I am? Analytics is a tool, not the Bible. Yeah, unfortunately, though, when you have the owner of the kid and he's in that office, it's a little jaded. Julian Laurie is in that department and runs that department. He runs it. Plus, you want to hear something else, Jimbo? My chick has turned into some sort of like incredible like cook. There's nothing she makes that sucks. The only thing she's made that sucked were these mustard potatoes back in the day. It was terrible. Other than the mustard potatoes, they were terrible. But, like, she makes tremendous food. Still, what do you look at me? Well, you know, the guy she married, I ate him. Still, since everything according to the Patriots, 100%, then what will Howie be focusing on in the draft, or will it be a trade possibly? I don't think they're going to trade pre-June 1. Okay? I do. Okay? So I'm sure you're right. Let's see here. And I'm not fat or anything crazy, but you could definitely tell. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a half a sandwich kind of guy. Sills, if you had a boy, would you have named him after you? My daughter's named Danielle. She's not named after me. She's named after my grandpa. Dee Dee's not named after me. Dee Dee's named after my grandpa. He was a fireman for 29 years, and he was a fisherman, and he's the greatest dude I've ever known in my life. Nobody has ever been anything near that guy. Let's see here. She obviously Kim knew him very well too. Yeah, Dee Dee's not named after me. You kidding me? She would have changed her name. If Dee Dee knew she was named after me, she would have changed her name. Right, Dee Dee? See, she's not going to answer. She had nothing to do. Man. She said, but don't worry, she'll be a fat mouth when I get off. She'll be killing me when I get off. So as you mentioned last week, it can't unsee it. Trent Williams playing right guard. Can you see it? Think about it. Trent Williams playing right guard next to Lane Johnson. That'd be amazing. Hey, by the way, Bob, I think you had an earlier I think you had an earlier one. Let me go back here. I think you had an earlier super, and I'll go back here. By the way, Big Z's going to join us at the bottom. Here we go. Sales, by doing the bidding for Lang, a reporter can have a long and happy career in Philly. It just won't have any depth. Correct. That's why the radio hosts in Philadelphia and WIP, that's why they all sound the same. They'll never be remembered. You don't have people on there that you're going to remember like Angelo and Howard Eskin. They sound the same. John Marks and these guys, they're just dudes. Just dudes that come through the system. There's very few people that are Mount Rushmore guys. John Marks and some of these other guys, they're nobodies. They're just guys in the system. They're just guys that, hey, no disrespect. Every station needs guys like that. But it's not sports talk radio. There's very few people, you know why, that aren't any longer doing it like me or Angelo or any of these other guys. Those people have balls. They're not afraid of shit. If you're not afraid of something and you have a talk show, I don't care if it's on YouTube or I don't care if you're talking into a fucking cup. If you got something to say it. My kid said this to me years ago, and she's right. Be prepared to have whatever you say challenged. These guys don't want nothing challenged. Do you think AJ is chasing consistency over numbers? That could be. That's a good take, Mark. That's a great take, actually. Why get personal? Have respect. What do you mean get personal? Because you say the station's not doing well and doesn't sound it? Hey, and by the way, Angelo and Howard Eskin are right. You think you got higher ratings? Are you monetizing it? That's like somebody saying something on YouTube, and I had a conversation with Xander on this. Hey, Sills, I had 1 million views on something. Great. How much money you make on it? Nothing. Useless. WIP has great ratings, and they're in debt. Figure that out. That's all you need to know. WIP has great ratings. I believe they're the number 1 radio station in Philly. Why are they in debt? If you're the best, how come you're not making money? So is there even a team in it that does? Is there even a team in it that does it right and lets the local media criticize them harshly and still have access at the same time? The Cowboys are even worse. No, the Bucks are. God forbid you're in a city like Philly where you only have one team. I think the Boston media gives a lot of shit to the Patriots, and there's still some access there. I think the Globe and the Herald. I don't believe the Globe and the Herald. I talked in Boston on WEEI, and I believe the radio stations, the Hub and EEI. I think they're critical of the Patriots. I don't think the newspapers are. Their sponsors went from Mercedes-Benz to gas station Wiener Pills. Yeah. You want to know how great? Hey, listen, do you know who sponsors my program? The number 3 advertiser in America, Morgan & Morgan. Is Morgan & Morgan on that station? Morgan & Morgan sponsors Dan Sileo. Morgan & Morgan sponsors Sports Grid, my show there. I don't have Wiener Pills sponsoring me. Okay? I don't have Wawa sponsoring me. Okay? Not that Wawa's bad. He's saying radio shows? Oh, radio shows. Got it. Yeah. Sills, that's why we bust your stones holding you accountable, especially in 24 when we won it all. But having said that, you were right most of the time. How you doing? Hey, man, you got me good in 24. That was my worst year. You know what? My worst year in my history of my broadcasting. I remember telling Xander's coming up in about 7 minutes. I remember telling Xander, I think it was the Baltimore game. I think these motherfuckers are going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to win it. Baltimore had me. I thought Baltimore, with that year in 24, I thought Baltimore was going to kind of expose you. No way. You took that team out. You had Lamar Jackson looking stupid in that game. And then the Pittsburgh takeaway, too. You guys, that's when another one. But it was kind of like Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I went, holy cow, these guys are going to win it. And the Ravens game was the one that I went, I better not be making any bets because I think this team's going to win it. Okay. Trivia. Who's the only Hall of Famer with no college football? Curly Culp. Curly Culp. Sills, we give you shit, but at the end of the day, we keep shit. That's right. Absolutely. There you go. Sills is sponsored by your mom. How you doing? Oh, man. How you doing? Curly Culp, dude. Curly Culp. He's the guy. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, Angelo, man, and Howard have been getting. I got to get Howard on tomorrow. Okay. So, yeah, we got some news from the Patriots. The Patriots are going to make this happen. They're going to trade for him. Two douches. People are like Sileo and Angelo. How perfect. Oh, Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates. That's right. He played college basketball. But hey, Curly Culp didn't play college football either. No, he's an HBCU player, Jimbo. Deacon Jones is an HBCU guy. WIP is sponsored by Wiener Dogs or Wiener Pills. They can't keep the content up, so they got to keep something else up. Let me see. Curly Culp go to ASU? I didn't know that. Did he? Let's see here. Did Curly Culp? Then it is Antonio Gates. I didn't think he went to college. He went to Arizona State. You're right. Thank you, Reyes. I didn't know he went to Arizona State. Played college football, was also an NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion at Arizona State. Great wrestling school. Good pull, Reyes. So it's got to be Culp. Or it's got to be Antonio Gates because he played college basketball. Am I right? At Cleveland State? I think he played basketball at Cleveland State. I think he was a power forward. And I know the story, actually. So Marty Schottenheimer told me when he was alive that they had a camp, and there was a basketball camp that he was at. It was the Lakers. And he said that he was going overseas. And you know what? No, I don't think Sirianni was there. I don't think Nick Sirianni was there. But Schottenheimer told me that he was getting ready to go overseas and play basketball, Antonio Gates. And he was going overseas, and Marty Schottenheimer said, "Why don't you try out? We'll give you a camp contract. See what you can do. We'll throw you some footballs." So they threw him some footballs. Sure enough, Marty Schottenheimer goes like this: Why don't we give him a contract? A 1-year contract, free agent contract. All of a sudden in camp, dude, Phillip Rivers started feeding this guy to football. And before you know it, this guy's in Canton. It's absolutely a true story. Also, too, Julius Peppers, if you remember right, was the 6th man on the national championship University of North Carolina team. It might have been, I can't remember if it was Dean Smith's last one or if it was somebody else that won the national title. It could have been Roy Williams. Williams never won at Kansas. He won the national championship at UNC, and Julius Peppers may have been on that team. So here's a great one. Sills, were you and your wife the parents in the stand screaming your heads off, cheering for your kid? I'm going to be a dad. Dude, the greatest thing on the planet is to watch your kid play. The greatest fear on the planet is watch your kid play. I look at the clock all the time. I want to make sure she plays great, but I just don't want her hurt. And she plays rugby, dude. And watching her play that tough sport, she's a tough-ass chick, man. Danielle puts her head in there, man, and she just knocks the shit out of people. And watching my kid play that sport, my aunt always calls, is she okay? Then how did she do? Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, but it's a thrill. My wife even said that. She goes, it must be a thrill watching you watch your kid play. And it is. It's a thrill. When I see her play, it's just phenomenal. Oh, it's Kent State? Thanks, Damon. Thanks. Dills, does she get it from her dad? I think she gets her I think she's got like both me and her in her. I think she's got, sometimes being a jerk from me though. No, she's a great kid, man. She's a spectacular kid. We couldn't hire Rivers over Mannion. Maybe it works out, but Jalen could use a real coach, right? I played rugby in college. It's more brutal than football. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I don't know how you stick your head in there and you don't have any gear on. She just sticks her head in there and she just like tackles guys and full run. It's a tough ass sport, dude. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd have played it. I would have. Sills, last night's USA and Dominican. Yeah, you see Junior Caminero hit that home run? It was great. I've never seen more fans in Miami cheering baseball than what I saw the other night with USA and Dominican. Hey, the Venezuela team too, man. They were great. Those Latin American guys, they love playing. They absolutely do. She goes, you know anything about player insurance? 49ers got $20 million in cap space for Bose's injury. I thought he had to retire to get that money. I didn't know that if he didn't play, maybe they misdiagnosed him. A doctor that wasn't a team doctor misdiagnosed him. Yeah, dude, I didn't even get to my other topics here. So you guys think the Eagles are going to get a guy at 23? That's going to make an impact? That's why Mulata is so good. But he's having that big, but having that athletic ability. Hey, dude, have you ever seen his videos of him running with the rugby ball? Guy's a fucking freak show. You know what I would do on goal lines? You want to get rid of the tush push? Put Jordan Mulata back there in the fullback position and let that 6'8 guy, 6'8", 375-pound guy run at the goal line. You ain't stopping that. You got to be like Killer Monsoon or like Andre the Giant to stop that guy. Absolutely. One of the best compliments. And I got to thank Angelo Cataldi for that, man. That was great. This is why we're here. This is why Big Z has to take out. Look, you see what this is right here? Here's Xander. Watch this. See this, folks? I'm going to open this up. This is what Xander does. Got to cover up that wound from Bob Lang over here, throwing that little shade at Big Z. Without further ado, we get my friend Big Z Xander Krause in here now. As we get ready for week, what is this, 2 of free agency? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you living, brother?
What'd you make old Angelo talking about some of the barking that's been going on there in your fine city?
I get a kick out of all you old heads. You guys love talking about the good old days. You guys love talking about that shit. That's good, though. I think Angelo is one of the best to ever do it. And you don't have to like Angelo or like his show or any of those things to understand the type of run he had. And they can point to current ratings or whatever the hell they want. But when you can do it for 30 years, 35 years, that's called rarefied air. You know, that's not easy to do. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a good interview by you, and I thought the bit on Howard Eskin's show was good as well. So I listened to that. I had no problem with what they were saying. I'm a younger guy. I mean, I don't, I get a kick out of. Here's what I get a kick out of. This is what I get a kick out of. I'm on social media and I saw this. I saw this old shit. What's his name? Oh, John Marks. He's on 97, and I actually like John. He's been good to Jacob, so I don't want to shit on him, but he makes this long video about Angelo turns his back on WIP, and I'm like, John, you act like if any one of you had the opportunity to unseat Angelo Cataldi, even by doing it in unconventional methods, you wouldn't have done it. Take that shtick and shove it up your ass. What? Why does everybody have to be like holier than thou? Like, oh, I speak from the pedestal on morality and all.
I would have done it.
Shut the hell up, please.
I would have done it.
Right. Most people would have done it. So they're all jealous of Angelo because he sat in the main chair for so long and nobody could touch him. And now they all want to, cry wolf that he took a crap on him. He doesn't owe them anything.
Xander, do you know how much money he made? I know how much money he made. You know how much money he made?
At least $1 million a year for a long time.
$1 million. He made
$2.5
million at his height. Yeah, and it was an average somewhere like 1.3 for like 15 years, dude. This guy's made a killing. And of course you're going to take a shit on that. Of course you're going to jump on that because he was the main guy. Him and Howard were making huge money because they were, hey, by the way, I liked his line when he said this. Those guys have high ratings, huh? How about the fact that, how about them revenues? How about that revenue going in there? You guys are like in bankruptcy when I was there.
Yeah, but here's the other part about that comment he made with the ratings. Ratings, that's why I said the 30-year thing. The ratings that they have right now, you could make an argument pretty easily that they're because of what Howard and Angelo did at the station. The station doesn't just magically become the top rated. And like you always say, wait a second, is it the talk show host in Philly now getting the ratings, or is it the fan base who's going to tune in no matter what? I mean, Jacob started 5 years ago, long before a lot of these, companies that are now on YouTube. We were one of the only ones on YouTube when we started. And someone said to me, why are you talking Eagles all year? How are you going to talk about the Eagles all year? And I said, well, look at our metrics. I mean, there's obviously dips in the offseason, but I mean, I did 850,000 views on YouTube in February after the season. And that was our lowest month of the year, a bad month for us.
Wow. You want to hear this? So they got metrics back because my show's being streamed in Tampa. You know what? The show's up 700%. You know what the second biggest market is? Philly.
I believe it. So the Philly fans who listen to you here are tuning into you. Yeah, I knew they would.
Down there. It's the second biggest market to Tampa. Not even Miami, where I played my college ball in this state.
Yep.
It's Philadelphia. All right, let's get to some Eagle stuff here. Did they bring back Dallas Goedert because they wanted to or because they had to?
I think both. I think they wanted him, but I don't think they wanted them anywhere close to the number. And I think Goddard, I don't know how good his market was. I thought he did a really good thing for the Eagles, and he did, clearly. I mean, by letting him extend the void date out, basically so they could figure out stuff with the void contracts with him and AJ. So Goddard kind of really did a good thing for the Eagles, but he was allowed to talk to some teams. And if he takes a 1 year, $7 million deal, how good was the market? And the other thing is, like you said at the start of the show, I mean, you want Goddard for $7 million, or you want no Goddard, have to replace him and take a $20 million dead cap hit. I mean, this always made a lot of sense. And I was saying that earlier in the summer, not to toot my own horn, but John kept telling me, oh, well, he took a pay cut. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. They're going to hold that. And I think you kind of thought that as well.
I was on that lane too.
That's because that's most players. You guys aren't off base in thinking that. I just, I'm happy to see Goddard come back. And it is funny to see it in the midst of where we are with AJ Brown, who, I'd like to maybe screen share this. me see if I could find it real quick. I did this little thing here. I think people would like to see this. I think
Is
people would
this with the
appreciate.
yards and all that?
Yeah, but I had I did it in one of my AI tools and it put it into a spreadsheet for me, and I just get a kick out of
Oh, I do.
looking at it. I mean, I
referenced
get it. John's like, he wants the ball to come out on time. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, how much better is it going to get for this guy? I mean, here's this AI thing. Let's take a look at this, guys. All right, here's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Puka Nacua. Sources are Pro Football Reference, ESPN, PFF, Spot Track, whatever, all these companies. Let's look at the receiving yards, 4 years. A.J. Brown, 5,034, one of only 4 receivers above 5,000 yards in the NFL in the last 4 years. Wow, pretty good, right? Wow. Must have a decent quarterback there in Philly to get 5,000. Wow. 32 touchdowns. One of Justin Jefferson doesn't have 30 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill doesn't have 30 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, Puka Nacua only played 3 years, I think. So CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams. Those are your touchdown guys. How about Pro Bowls? Okay. A.J. Brown, 3-time Pro Bowl player. How about All-Pro? Okay, one of the few on here with multiple All-Pros. How about the contract average annual value? He's a top 5 in $32 million a year. Like, does Jalen Hurts do everything perfect? No, he does not. Could A.J. Brown maybe get a couple more yards and a more passing offense? Sure, maybe he could. This dude's got to stop fucking crying.
Yeah, but wait, but what you just did, you just solidified why he's even gone more. Because there's nothing you can show that makes sense.
Dude, A.J. Brown is he's like Senor. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how good. They always have to cry. He's perpetually going to cry. You know, it's okay. But it is what it is. I mean, and if the dude's going to make it so miserable, I guess just get him out of here. But I just think it's funny looking at him and then looking at Goddard, who's like taking a pay cut to come back to Philly.
10 mil.
I know, for another year. You know, he doesn't have the top yards. Doesn't have the top
you say 7. I think it's 4.5 million because it's incentives to 7.
Yeah.
It's 4.
No, it is. It was
it's
I think
4.5
guaranteed, right?
4.5 guaranteed, right?
Yeah, so you're probably right. It's probably closer to 4.5.
Yeah. Well, he made him get this. They was making 14 million 3 years ago. Now he's making 4.5.
Fair enough. Fair enough. My whole point in saying that is not that I think AJ, or not that I think the offense doesn't need fixing or anything. Just that he acts like, you know, he being in Philly has done a great disservice to his career. And I think he's sadly mistaken. And by the way, we haven't even talked about the team accolades. Now, you're right to say that players don't care as much about team accolades. They don't. But you would think, hey, a Super Bowl ring on your finger might sway you a couple percent, right? A little bit, right? 2
NFC title games and a Super Bowl? Yeah,
right.
That would definitely do that for me.
And he's missed 8 games in his career here in Philly.
And in 4 years?
Yeah.
8 games in 4 years?
I'll tell you the numbers right now. I got them on this spreadsheet year by year. So,
by the way, every time he misses the game, how many of those games have the Eagles won?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think many, actually.
Okay.
He missed 1 in 23, and then he missed a playoff game that year, so 2.
That's right.
He missed 4 in 2024, and he missed 2 last year. So 4, 2, 2, 8. He missed 8 games. Yeah.
Am I reading John McMullen right here that John went from just being a tick above 50%, he thought AJ was gone, to now where he almost thinks it's inevitable that he's gone now this year?
Yeah, John's up to 80-20.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's big. I mean, if you remember, John was teetering around 45 to 55, somewhere in that range on both sides. So he wasn't going much further than that, and now he's at 80-20. So basically, what I'm getting, and John told me a little bit off the air, which I don't want to go behind John's back and say anything he asked me not to say, but I can say this. They've been given some intel what Howie's trying to do to trade him, and Howie does have to jump through hoops to do it, and they're doing it. They're jumping through hoops to try and get this done. So that tells the beat reporters, like, all right, if Howie's even attempting to jump through these hoops, which are big hoops to jump through, he's probably gone.
That sounds to me like the owner got involved.
Maybe. Right. Maybe.
Okay.
You know?
Because if the green light was given to Howie to do whatever it takes,
right, that's when you jump through hoops.
That's when you jump through hoops, is because the owner wants him gone now, and the owner doesn't want. Hey, do you think the Goedert deal had anything to do with that? And what?
Well, that's why I waited. John told me that's why I waited, because they were trying to figure out if they could trade AJ, and what they could not do was take on both of the dead monies. Like they couldn't take on Goddard's and AJ's dead money. So if they traded AJ and took on the $22 million or whatever it is this year for his dead money, and Goedert had the $20 million plus the cap crunch they're already in, it wouldn't have worked. So that's why, I think they were waiting with Goedert to try and figure it out with AJ Brown.
Let's play the game here. How do you think the offense looks without AJ?
Well, I don't think great, but I think the good thing to look at is that they haven't been a great passing offense with AJ. So, when you take that into account, how much of a loss is it? Is it a good player? Absolutely. Are you going to lose a great player? Yeah. Will Jalen probably struggle without him potentially? But when you're already a sucky offense, maybe it won't get that bad. It's already bad. How much worse do you think it can get, Sileo?
I get an idea. Do you think it makes Jalen run more?
No, but I think his turnover rate might go up.
Huh.
I mean, think about it. AJ Brown is a really good contested catch, or has been a really good contested catch player. So there's a lot of those throws that Jalen has made, which kind of has become in a way a signature for Jalen, right? The deep ball, the throws downfield. A lot of those are because AJ's been able to win a lot of one-on-one battles. Use his body control to catch the football, use his hands, use his frame to go and catch a ball. And I don't know. Do you lose that? I mean, Devontae Smith is a fine ball player, great player, but I don't think he has that trait. No. He's not going to manhandle dudes the way AJ Brown did in the air, catching footballs. So I'm not sure that maybe that hurts Jalen a little bit, but I think he'll be all right. I mean, I think they'll be all right.
I heard that the Rams were trying to put Devontae Adams in that deal to move Devontae Adams to.
Well, yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for them to have all three, right?
No.
Yeah.
So they're trying to move Devontae Adams.
No, I don't think Devontae Adams would want to come here.
Yeah, but he would. But
maybe he wants to win.
But here, I'll tell you this: as a stopgap guy to next year's draft, Xander.
Yeah, and he.
I don't want to have nobody out there.
Devontae Adams has never won at a high level. Maybe he wants to win. He's at that age.
Dude, a Super Bowl ring on that guy's finger would really enhance that resume a lot.
Yes, it would. Yes,
dude,
it would.
And if you look at his resume, I mean, his numbers are insane. Like, he's got Hall of Fame numbers and credentials. As a matter of fact, he's got more numbers than what AJ has because he played with Aaron Rodgers all them years. Dude put up a lot, man.
Yeah.
You're going into the draft and getting yourself a tight end?
Yeah, probably round 2 or 3. I think 2. Look at Goddard and look at Ertz. Second rounder. Maybe they continue that trend, right? So I don't think they go round 1, especially with the addition of Goddard now. Now they could. If the board falls that way, maybe they could, but I don't know. Do they go with Kenyon Sadiq? I think they like that value probably in the 2nd or 3rd round. So I think 2nd or 3rd round they pick up a tight end, and then you'll probably see Calcaterra get cut, or maybe Johnny Munt, depending on what kind of guy they get.
So Sean Mannion, so you hire this guy and you get rid of AJ Brown. Okay, hey, good luck to you, guy. I'm sure he took that gig thinking that he was going to have one of them horses in the building there when you kind of put a little Shetland pony out there instead of having the thoroughbred. And there he is out there with Devontae. Bro, I got to tell you, some people today said to me when I was asking this question, does Nick Sirianni have to make it to the playoffs to him to keep the job? I got a feeling they're making this thing for more than just 1 or 2 years, even if the success isn't there. I think the organization wants to see progress out of the offense. What do you think is more important this year? Making a playoff run or improving the offense to where you can feel comfortable moving forward by adding pieces that the quarterback and everyone is moving forward? You're not going to win a Super Bowl every year, Xander.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to move the chains and you're trying to advance the unit.
Don't they go hand in hand?
You're not going to win every year, though. You're just not. How do you improve the Eagle offense and say it's improving if their record is lesser? You're right. It's difficult. It's difficult to do this. Hey, if Jalen Hurts throws for 4,200 yards and 30, okay, how about this one? If Jalen Hurts throws for 4,200 yards and 34 touchdowns, and the team falls 9-8 and doesn't make the playoffs, will you feel the offense is moving in a good direction?
Yeah, but don't they go hand in hand? Like, if the offense gets better, like, how good do you think the team's going to be?
I'm looking to get the quarterback better here.
Yeah, but wouldn't that in theory lead to more success?
Not really. Not always.
Not always. That's fair. But I mean, based on what you know about the team, though, being a defensive football team, they do have Vic Fangio. Now, they did have some big losses. I don't think we should look past those. But I don't know. What do you think the Eagles' defense is going to be? Middle of the pack again?
Yep.
Great. Top 10?
I think they'll be 15th somewhere in there.
They'll be top 10. So
wait, if you had the 15th ranked offense and the 15th ranked defense, do you think you got better? Not even looking at the record. Do you think the team would have gotten better?
Probably, but maybe
with all the draft picks you have coming up in 27 too, and all the cap space.
Maybe, but probably not. I'd rather. I hope the defense stays really good. I'd rather the defense be top 5 and the offense just gets 15% better. Does that give you a better chance than going 15-15? But is that going to happen with all the people Howie let walk?
No. What do you make of that?
I think Angelo might be
on
right
X that since the Super Bowl defense, half the unit's gone.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, we're getting into the territory here, and it's too early to tell right now. But you are getting into the territory of looking at Howie Roseman potentially fucking up this window.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's all on Howie. I mean, players, could anybody have projected that Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens would fall off a cliff? I don't know if that's on Howie. I really don't. It happened, but I don't know that it's Howie's fault. But you look at some of the
they were good players, but the wear of the athlete, there's no way he could have projected they weren't 10-year guys.
Yeah, but the reason that I don't the reason I don't know if it's all Howie is because, like, with all the losses of the defense last year, the defense wasn't the problem on the team last year, even with the departures, right? Now, if the team had a clear lapse on defense and wasn't good enough, then you're probably looking like, yo, Howie, you let all these guys walk, and now the defense stunk and we couldn't win. But he brought back everybody on offense, and the offense was the problem. So I don't think it's all Howie, But will Howie be able to retool as well as he did last time? That's going to start to come into question.
Are you expecting you to find a impact player 23 in this upcoming NFL draft?
Yeah. Yep. Found an impact player at 30 last year,
Then you benched
him. Vic benched him, yeah. Vic did bench him. He said, no, thank you. I'm out on him for I'll take Nakobe Dean. But
is it more imperative that you hit on a guy this year than it was a year ago? And I'm not saying Campbell's not a hit.
Well, you're right. Campbell became a luxury pick.
Yes.
I mean, it's a luxury pick if you take a first rounder and stick him on the bench. So
you got to find an impact guy this year to make an impact, right?
All right. What would you rather have, though? An impact? What would it be?
Edge. You know what my impact is? 5 or 6 sacks, playing the shit out of the edge and keeping contained. That's my Vic Fangio type of edge. You don't have to be a 14, 15 sack guy. Just be someone that can play 3 downs.
What helps the Eagles more? If they land Lane Johnson's replacement at 23 or if they get an impact edge?
Impact edge. Because
are you only speaking for 2026?
Yeah, it's all I can care about right now.
Well, that's not all Howie can care about.
I know. Well, then guess what you're going to do? That means you're going to bench Steen, right? You're going to put him at guard. Or are
Maybe
you
they
going to sit
trade
him on the
Steen.
sidelines?
Or trade him.
Or trade Steen?
What would you get for Steen? 4th? 3rd?
I think a little higher.
Really?
Well, how hard do you think it is to find an offensive lineman in today's NFL?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, those guys don't grow on trees. Dude, you don't see good offensive linemen. I'm not saying he's sensational.
Yeah, I don't think higher than a 3, though, dude. I think 3.
No. Probably a 4. Probably a 4 somewhere there. High 4. I mean, Xander, do you really see good offensive line? Like that Tyler Linderbaum being dealt to the Raiders is fucking nuts. You gave a Pro Bowl center up the Ravens, and you didn't want to sign him?
They gave him some crazy money. I did not understand why Ravens let him go.
I didn't either, man.
I didn't know if there was some smoke there. You know, why would you let that guy go?
Why would you let that guy go?
He's been
like
good
that?
since he came into the league.
Dude, Pro Bowler.
Who's the best center in football right now? Probably Creed Humphrey. That Drew Dahlman was a stud in Chicago.
Really good.
He wasn't the best center in football, but he was up there. He had a really good year. Creed Humphrey's one of them.
Probably.
Who's the other dude? I know Linderbaum's up there pretty good.
Is there a guy in Atlanta?
Yeah, the Atlanta guy's pretty good too. What's that guy's name?
What is that guy's name?
It was Drew Dahlman. Who was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. It was Dahlman
in Chicago from Atlanta. I don't know who they replaced him with in Atlanta.
No. It was Dahlman. That's right. Dahlman was probably the best center. I thought it was Linderbaum or
Chris Lindstrom. That's a good one. Yeah, I think Creed Humphrey's the best safety or center though. The guy in Kansas State.
Tyler Linderbaum and Cam Jurgens come out in the same draft.
Did they? They might have.
I thought Linderbaum went in the first, and
I know Linderbaum was a first rounder.
Yeah, and then Cam Jurgens went in the second from Nebraska. I thought they were in the same draft.
Cam was 22. I'll check Linderbaum. Yeah, same draft. Yep. Linderbaum went 25 overall.
Yeah, and then Cam went. Hey, do you think this thing with AJ Brown? Do you not agree? Maybe you don't agree. In my opinion, by the way, we'll read your supers in a second. We appreciate you guys. I think this is about the quarterback with AJ. Because all the things you pointed out, Xander, what else is it then? I don't think it's personal, Xander. I think he likes the guy. I don't think it's anything to do with more than this. He just doesn't think he's a quarterback that gets him the football enough and he makes the offense go through him. He thinks he's more of a system quarterback, that they have a passing system. AJ wants the offensive passing game to go through him, and that quarterback's not able to do that for whatever reason, whatever you think. It's not important what you think, I think. It's important to think more like AJ. Don't you think right now AJ looks at that quarterback and says, if I'm going to make it to Canton, Ohio,
he's not making it to Canton, Ohio. Hang it up, dude. You're not that good. You're not that good. You're a good player. You're not a Hall of Fame football player.
I don't think he is either.
And he's not. Come on. I mean, I love AJ Brown. He's not a Hall of Fame football player, Sills.
He's not.
No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
That's not Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think he's close. So I don't even know if he's a Hall of Fame for his era, let alone Hall of Fame.
Who would I take in his era?
What do you mean? I'd take the 3 guys in the league right now. You take Jamar Chase or AJ Brown?
Chase. You think Chase could do that shit with?
I think Chase is a better player than AJ. Yes.
Jefferson.
Dude, Jamar Chase is wild good.
Jefferson's a better player.
Jefferson too. I mean, Devontae Adams is older, but in his prime, sorry, AJ's not holding a candle to that guy.
Let me take a look at that for a second.
Hall of Fame receivers don't drop 3 balls in a playoff game after bitching all year. Throw your quarterback under the bus, and then he trusts you in the playoffs, and you get the ball with the turf.
Fucking funny as shit.
Come on, man. That's crap from AJ.
Okay, here's Devontae Adams. He's got 1,000 in 12 years. He's got 1,017 catches, and he's got 12,633 receiving yards and 117 touchdowns. He's led the NFL 3 times in TD catches. 18 he had one year, 14, and another year he had 14. Listen to these years. So catching the football, he had 12 touchdown catches, 10 touchdown catches, 13 catches, 18 catches, 11 catches, 14 touchdown catches. He did that all in consecutive years.
Wait, let me rip on my boy Twiz in the chat. Look at Twiz. He's saying, so Twiz says this: when did AJ say he wanted more targets? He wants the $300 million offense to perform better. Doesn't mean he wants all the targets. So Twiz, are you wait a second. Twiz, so everything we've learned about AJ Brown, you honestly believe that he wants out, not because of his own numbers, but because of the team? Twiz, what are you smoking, man? I need some of that. I had a tough, I need to relax tonight. I'll put on a movie or something. Let me get some of that, Twizzler.
50 and 18 in 4 years. What are you talking about?
Wait, now look at Twiz. Now AJ Brown's the ultimate team. He actually wants out because the team's not good enough. Is that right, Twiz? One of the more successful teams in football in the last 4 years.
How come some of these guys can't just wrap their head around this guy just wants to be out because he doesn't like the quarterback style of play?
I think you might be right, Sills. I don't know for sure, but I'm done listening to him.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm done with it. But I'll tell you this, it's great for us.
Oh my God. By the way, someone goes, I think it was Marshall. Marshall goes like this. Hey, Sills, you're really praying. I go, are you fucking kidding me? I lived through that guy. What do you think? Devontae's going to turn into some sort of content machine? No way. That guy's the greatest thing on the planet, dude.
If you guys saw Sileo right when we come on the show, he's got this villain-like smirk on his face whenever he clicks into the link, and I'm like, I already know. I already can see what's pinging in his brain right now, and I don't even need to hear him speak yet. So I know Sileo loves content on AJ Brown. It's his favorite topic.
I got another one. Here's becoming my second favorite. Wait a minute here. It's March 16th, and it's 5:02 Eastern time. Where's Jalen Carter's contract?
I think it might come this week or 2 weeks from now. You know when I think it's going to come? I think it's going to come at the same time that Jalen Hurts' contract came in 22.
Before camp?
Right before the NFL draft.
Right before the draft.
Yep.
Okay. You think so clearing up of the space, do you think it was for – you don't think it was for Carter? I happen to have thought maybe them getting that and getting Goddard back was for Goddard too.
Well, maybe.
Or it was for Jalen Carter, I mean.
Well, that could be part of it as well. Well, that's more so. I think that went into the whole thing. Like,
yeah,
they couldn't pay Carter and take on 20 AJ and take on 20 for Goddard. Something that I'm not sure if you caught our Sunday show. I know you're busy. You're working on Sundays with the Sports Grid show. We did the breaking news segment on Goddard when he signed, and John made an interesting comment to me that we got to start to look at seriously about the void years. And John is like, look, Howie's gotten a lot of love for the way he does contracts, and it's good. It's worked out well, but we are now reaching a tipping point in Philly where you no longer have to misevaluate a player for it to cost you. I mean, he was like, Xander, they're taking 1 year contracts.
Yeah.
And they're putting 4 void years on every one of them. We're going to be paying for Azeez Ojulari for the next 4 years.
That's right.
And Josh Uche. These guys played 5-6 games in Philly. You could count how many snaps they had. It's under 100 snaps probably, whatever it is. And you're paying for them for 4 years. Same thing with the contract they just signed with Tariq Woolen. 4 years of void years on that. So John brought it up to me. He's like, look, we got to have a talk about this where, is this not going to work anymore? It's one thing to do it for Jalen Carter and Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and your top paid players. It's another thing to slap every 1 year contract you sign with 4 voidable years on it.
Aren't you guys near $400 million and all of that?
Yeah.
Like they're near really big. Like it's like I think the Niners are second to that, right? I think the Eagles, right? Wow. All right. I mean, so your draft. 2 more questions here, Xander. We'll do some.
So
super-
Amoroso says he doesn't think Carter's getting a deal before the season. Do you think he gets a deal before the season? No. So you're with Amoroso. I think he gets a deal. I think he gets a deal.
I think they're going to kick that can till next year.
They might. I wouldn't. I'll tell you this.
The upside? What's the upside of signing him now? Because you're hoping that you're going to get him coming into a great year. Don't you want to motivate him more too?
Maybe. I mean, I'll tell you this. I would not be surprised if they kicked it to next year. But knowing the way Howie does business, I feel like they'll get it done with Carter. I mean, you don't want to let that thing linger too long. I mean, they probably want to include the 5th-year option in the deal so they can lessen the hit, the cap hit and stuff. And I think they'll kick that sucker down the road.
Okay. Do you believe in more of the guy's talent, Jalen Carter? Or is it that for me, here, let me, how am I going to word this? Okay. I understand where you are with Jalen Carter's talent, but I think his character, I think for me, it's taken my love of his talent and it's kind of backed me up on him a little bit where like, isn't he kind of a little bit like the Woolen guy you signed? Tariq Woolen? You got so many people telling me how gifted he is. Do you not get a little concerned about whether a guy, how gifted he is, doesn't fulfill his destiny and become that guy that you're hoping? Because last year, man, there were a lot of pause moments in that season for me. The sitting out of the Giant game, the shoulders, the spitting, put them all together, Xander. You're not starting. If you can write a book or the beginning and starting a book on a guy's character, we're starting now like to have more instances of that stuff. So hasn't that made you pause a bit?
Well, it's certainly. I mean, I remember when it happened, and I made a post about it on social media about the first game incident and stuff like that. So, I mean, look, it's a factor, but I don't know, dude. You know where I got this from? I got this from fucking you, my friend. I mean, if you're going to sit here and have a morality contest, then yeah, you're probably not going to win Super Bowls, and maybe you'll keep your team out of the headlines. But like, if you got a dude that I don't know, is the moments with Jalen Carter that make you scratch your head, are they worth having the talent on your team? I think they are. Now what a bigger concern to me is the shoulders, and how will they affect his play in the next 3 years? I don't give a rat's ass though. I'm not worried. I can't worry too much about that.
You just made me think of a fucking tremendous story with Jimmy Johnson and Jerome Brown with me. So check this out. So he pulls us in his office and Jerome got caught speeding. I beat a guy up in a downtown bar and I beat the fuck out of this guy. And I got in really big trouble with the cops and everything. I almost got arrested for beating this guy up. I picked the table up, fucking hit him over the head with it. I was like,
"Geez, so you're gonna kill the guy?"
Oh, I really was. I was gonna kill the guy. So we're in his office, and Jimmy goes like this. You know why you two clowns are here? And I'm sitting there, and Jerome looked over at me, and we looked at it, and he goes, you know why you two clowns are here? Because you two guys are motherfuckers. But I'll tell you what, you break my balls. Getting calls in the middle of the night, Jerome, for guns in a milk carton. You had an automatic, and I'm getting calls from Miami-Dade County that you're being held because you beat a guy up. And we're sitting there, and he goes, thank God you're good. Now get the fuck out of here. And I'm sick of these midnight calls.
Man, I mean, they didn't have you there, though, because you were polite to teachers.
Hey, and we walked out. We looked at each other, and I go, why'd you put those guns in my milk carton? And because those old things where you put the milk back in the day?
Yep.
And so, like, Jerome put them in mine on my side of the quad. He put the guns when the cops go, are these yours? I go, no,
they're mine.
They're mine. And
you can't go Rat City, so
I started saying it, and I looked at him. I go, you motherfucker.
You can't go Rat.
I was like, oh, hey, but dude, Jimmy Johnson sat us in there. He goes, You two clowns are here for one reason. It's because two reasons. I like you, and you two guys are just great ball players. And I'm going like, so we walked out, and that's where I got that line from him. He goes, I don't win championships with choir boys. And that's stuck with me for over 35 years. We didn't have choir boys on our team, dude. We had motherfuckers on our team. And I get it. And so sometimes I find myself being a media guy, and I forget. You don't want to coach that out of that kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I do think here's where I think it's a little different. I mean, the game has grown so much that we've talked about this before.
And the money.
Like, dude, these are they're not like sports teams anymore. These are like Fortune 500 companies for crying out loud, these things.
Yeah.
You know, so like there is a little bit of a different, you know, it's a different world. The way media is consumed is different. You know, the expectations, I think, of people are different. It's just a different world. You know, it's a more pussified world, I think is a good word for it. But so I think that's a part of it as well. But I get it, but I'm not letting Carter walk because he spit on Dak Prescott. I mean, I'll tell you that much.
No, that.
Now the shoulders, I think, are real. If his shoulders are a big problem, because I think that's why he wasn't as good of a player last year. You know, remember, he wasn't working out all offseason. He didn't work out at all.
You think how we made a mistake by not giving that $30 million to Phillips?
Nah. I think you got to replace him. But I mean, dude, if they gave that contract, be honest.
Yeah, but what if the market next year is $35 million for a player?
Well, it probably will be. But that doesn't make the deal now, right? I mean, be honest.
You regret the Sweat deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said that at the time, though.
Yeah.
Be honest. If they signed Jalen Phillips last week on a Tuesday night, what would the start of at $30 million a year? What would the start of the National Football Show on Wednesday sound like? Honestly.
They overpaid for a really good player.
You wouldn't have even said really good. You would have said 2 sacks and he got $30 million. I know you. You would have pulled out the stats and you would have said this is an overpay.
Remember, I can't go too crazy on my boy.
No bullshit. He didn't. What did he win at Miami?
Dick.
Exactly.
Hey, yeah, he didn't win anything, man. He did not. So where's Jalen Hurts in all this? How come he's got no comment? No, nothing.
Oh, you didn't hear his latest?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I do have
amazing. Amazing is the word that Jalen Hurts used.
I heard that last year.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And when he was in his locker after he won the Super Bowl and had the Super Bowl MVP and all those trips to Disney and everything, and he went to the locker room cleanout day, he did not necessarily give Kevin Patullo a glowing, endorsement. Now he's on the book. Now he's on the kids book tour, which, by the way, I think was cool. Congrats to Hurts for releasing the kids book. He got asked and he gave him the amazing. I think he knows. The amazing Sean Mannion.
So wait a minute here. Let me go here. Let me go to that book tour from the Eagles here. That orchestrated. Bob,
I like football players do shit like that. I know you don't, but I do.
Hang on here. Well, I like it when people do it when the lights ain't on. Here we go. All right. The only thing better than a touchdown is reading with QB1. Man, look at this photo shoot. Man, that's really dope. Look at this over here. Look at
you got to remember, he's got an all female management crew. You know, they love that shit. It's like Vogue for football, dude. It's they put him on the covers of all this shit. I mean, who cares?
Look at that, man. Look at all the pictures and all the orchestrated things that were set up, man. What a nice thing.
Look at everybody ripping him for writing a fucking kids book. You guys are dense. I tell you that much.
I think it's wonderful that the Eagles had all the cameras down there, making sure they got this thing and make him more likable.
Yeah, it's called promotion, man. I tell you what, I could be better at that. There's some lessons to learn in that.
Hey, I think it sure is. This is how you make someone more likable.
Well, it's also how you get the word out there. Marketing is for a reason.
Look, I'm not ripping. I'm just pointing.
You're not. Yeah, you just have a certain tone in your voice right now, but it has nothing to do with ripping, right?
Look at the little kids with their hands up, and he's reading there, and
I'm with Jim Adams. That's AJ's new sideline book is Better Than a Touchdown by Jalen Hurts.
Wow, man. What an orchestrated way to go, Bob Lane. That's how you do it, man. I like it. I do. I think it's great. That's how you make someone likable. You have an orchestrated photo shoot for kids. I thought when you did things for kids and
Jalen does right, but Jalen does things in the community. Don't rip. Don't knock
Not ripping.
the kids' book. I mean, I remember when he did the AC in the Philly schools. I thought that was cool. He's done some things, man.
Listen,
come on.
Hey, all I'm
you know
saying.
What? I'll tell you what I hate. This is what I hate, and I'm not saying you do this because I've never heard you do this, but I hate when people count another person's pockets and then also count what they do for other people. Like you'll hear people, this billionaire will give like $1 million to some charity, and incoming some Joe schmuck who comes in and is like, well, you easily could have given 10 million and that's only 0.0001% of your net worth. I'm like, dude, what the fuck did you give? Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. I mean, seriously, So
see, the cynic in me does this though. So when an owner, you're right, I don't count as money. When an owner gives something for charity, I look at it and go, well, you got to make sure did you get your form for your tax thing? It's a tax break. Did you get it for the tax break?
I know.
Wait a second. Millionaires don't do things for free.
Billionaire, dude, they the funniest thing is the billionaire, that stupid pledge they all signed. We're gonna give away all of our money. Yeah. I'm like, you're not giving away fucking shit. You got everything in a trust and that's getting passed down. No tax. No, there's going to be not even a paper trail of it, dude. Come on.
Julian's rounding third. That's where he was born. This guy wasn't born on third base. No. Listen, I'm not really ripping. I'm just pointing out that sometimes these guys who do these things in public, I'm like,
dude, I love Eagle fans, dude. They're ruthless. I love it. Look at this. Is this charity? No, it's a side gig ripping off parents for $12.99.
You guys are now shitting on a kid's book.
Oh man!
Wait a minute.
I mean, if that doesn't tell you that it doesn't matter what Hurts does, everybody will be ripping them. I don't know
You're
what
gonna
does.
shit on a kid. Kids. Oh my God! Dude.
All right. No more.
What kind of week do you think they had?
Last week?
Yeah.
C.
All right. I'll land there.
They passed. I mean, the secondary, even with the loss of Reed Blankenship, did the secondary get better?
Yeah.
Wait, this is about all. 1 second. I need to take a 2-second. I'll be right back. I got to text them. This is the most I get asked to do. I got to turn on the oven to 400.
go to holy. Yeah. He must be getting ready to get married. Holy.
Dude, I got pretty in the oven, man. You know what that means? It means I get food quicker. All right? Relax, dog.
I fucking love it. Hey, I love it.
I gotta preheat the oven, man.
Oh my God,
I gotta preheat the fucking oven.
Hey, folks, remember what you see with Xander right here? 3 years, he won't be the same dude.
Oh bullshit.
This guy would be mowing lawns.
Look at this loser twist. Xander turning on a fucking oven. Are you guys out of your mind?
It's just the beginning.
To cook me the fucking food. You can't even turn an oven on?
It's just the beginning.
Good.
It's just the beginning. Hey, I got a favor to ask you.
If I get 8 kids, then I'll do it. I'm good.
Hey, I got a favor. Can you do 10 minutes of the show on Wednesday during this segment?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go on WFAN and they're going to
promote. Oh, yeah. You told me that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go on with Carton.
Oh, get ready, everybody. I will take over the national football show.
Oh, my God. I'll be coming back with bumps and bruises.
Yeah, you will. You'll come back with a fired up audience.
Hey, were you shocked that Spike took a shit on Angelo?
No, I mean, no. You know, we already talked about it. I mean, you know, I'm not surprised at all that they did it, but it doesn't bother me, and I don't think it bothered Angelo either.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna get Howard on tomorrow. I'm gonna get Howard.
Here's where I think Spike is dense. I mean, you can say what you want about Howard Eskin, but he fucking basically built that.
Did.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean,
he built that place.
He started that thing, man. Sports radio might not, you could make an argument sports radio is not the same in the country if it's not for a guy like Howard Eskin, who took one of the biggest cities, you know, and a new format and built it up in the way that he did. You know, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you a couple names to remember, Xander. Okay. There was a guy.
I will say that you old head, dude, you guys love talking about this shit. You know, you always bring them on, and you can't wait for when you can get to the segment where you could talk about the radio and all that bullshit. I'm like, man, I don't care. I need an Eagle headline, Sileo.
Well, he gave you one.
Yeah, what'd he say?
He talked about Howie Roseman
he's blowing it.
He said he's blowing it.
He's blowing it.
There's three dudes in sports talk history that started this shit. There is a guy by the name of Pete Franklin in Cleveland who was there with Imus. And then I worked with Pete when he was in San Francisco. I was just getting into the business and he was like getting on the way out. And Mike Francesa and Howard Eskin, those three dudes started this thing. They started like, you know, Mike North too. Dude, Mike North is in that conversation too with those dudes, man. He's in there.
He is, Sills. Legend in Chicago for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's read some of these supers here. Guys, I appreciate you. God, that
I think I hear the oven is heating up, everybody. Is that all right with all of you? Huh?
Hold on. What
I don't know what I'm having. I don't do that part.
It's what do you live on a ship?
No, I don't live on a fucking ship. She's not here yet. That's why I had to turn the oven on.
You know what? So that's what it's when you get married and you're married for 35 years like me. What are we having for dinner? Whatever I'm fucking cooking.
Yeah. Well.
Sills loves stirring up the gravy.
All right, here we go. Here is Jay the Legend. What's up, Jay? I say if offense is 15 and defense is top 5, we win in the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're going to the NFC title game, man. I think if you're that.
Yeah. Jay, I agree with you. Top 5 D.
You are.
I don't know if they're top 5 D right now, though, dude. They just lost a guy at every level of the defense.
Yeah. No, I right now, dude, you've lost 5 guys off that starting team since the Super Bowl. 2 quality guys. I mean, 5 good guys. You know what? You and I heard you say this on the show this morning. So, look, you signed 2 guys. You're going to do Carter and you're going to do Davis, right? And you lose 5 players? The math's not right.
But would you keep those 5 players and get rid of the 2?
Well, here, okay. Do you think the Dallas Cowboy defense has gotten better since Michael Parsons has left?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you got rid of an elite guy, but you improved the unit.
Yeah, but don't you think that's a different, like, when you're the Cowboys and your defense is bottom, like, that's a different move than when you're the Eagles and you're trying.
There's definitely a bigger climb.
Yeah, when you're trying to get from the bottom to the middle or to the top, I mean, that's easy. That's different. You take a different approach there than when you're top 10 and you're trying to get to the best. I don't think you get rid of a player like that if you're already a solid team.
Bro, I'm gonna make a comment to you here. You probably not.
Dude, you're buying the Jerry Jones hype like I've never seen.
No. I don't know. They have to pay off in September. I think they're doing some things now. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna make a comment to you. You probably won't like it. I don't believe Devontae Smith can be a number 1.
I don't know that I disagree yet. So, I mean, I don't think you're off base in saying it.
How's your strudel?
My strudel?
Whatever you're fucking eating there.
I'm not fucking eating anything. I had to turn on the oven.
fuck.
Here is SS. He says this. We started off season with 12.5 mil. Now we have 40 mil. I trust in Howie. We're only a week in.
Hey, how's the old man doing when it comes to having to pay for this wedding?
He doesn't have to pay for it.
Is it the chick that does?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the chick. That's right.
I'm on the hook for a honeymoon with my
That's
All right,
right.
here we go.
That's right. It's the
Yeah, keep
chick.
it down over there, dude.
my dinner is in jeopardy if you
down,
keep
dog.
working,
Yeah,
dude.
screaming shit into the rafters. I don't have an earpiece in.
I got it. You're right. I'll do it at
Mikey
Wimbledon.
says Landon drafted with a full medical clipboard on him already in college. Def on Howie for some of if he drafts injured stars in lower rounds that fall.
Dude, he does a lot of drafting with guys that are injured. And they're undersized. Cam's undersized. Nolan's undersized. Jacoby was undersized. I love hearing fans do this. You know what? We really love Jacoby. No, you didn't, because if you did, you'd have gave him the money. That don't mean you hey, I really love the guy. I hate to see him go, but we'll give him 12.
I'm pissed at letting Jacoby go. Freddie says this. Barkley better step it up if AJ is gone. That's true. Talk about an underreported name this offseason. Saquon Barkley. That dude's on a milk carton.
How about this, Ander? If AJ does go, more pressure on Hurts or on Barkley to turn this season around of a year ago. I don't know if Hurts was all that awful last year. I think that Barkley, he just didn't look like explosive, right? He just didn't look explosive.
It just wasn't that productive.
And again, nobody looked explosive.
If you're going to be a running football team, then your running game better be productive.
Yeah, that's
I think we got that. We got that one. Who's the only Hall of Famer with no college football?
It turned out to be Antonio Gates.
Oh, wow. Good one.
Yeah.
I love Antonio Gates when I was younger.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. That's all.
Bro, I wonder what and when this whole thing with AJ is gonna just stop. I hope it never stops. Pre-draft. Last question, Xander. Draft, post-draft, post-June 1, right before the beginning of the season. When is AJ gone?
I think post-June 1. That makes the most sense for everybody.
Patriots.
Don't send him to the Patriots. That's what he wants.
You don't want to send a guy where he wants. Where do you want to send him?
Cleveland. Go play with Shador.
Cleveland or the Dolphins?
Go play with Shador.
Down there with the
See how green the grass is outside of Philadelphia, AJ.
Jeez. Send him to Arizona.
Yeah. I don't really. You send him to any of those scrubs.
Well, dude, I don't want you to burn your strudel. So, hey.
Dude, have you never heated an oven? I think I could sit here for 2 hours. It would be fine. The oven is just heating.
I'm not allowed to touch the oven.
You can't even touch a propane tank.
No. Are you kidding me? A propane tank? I would look like the Hindenburg blowing up.
All right, let me get out of here.
All right,
I got some things to tend to.
I will see you, my friend.
All right, Sills. Thank you,
Catch
brother.
you in the morning, man. That is my friend Big Z, man. All right, guys. We appreciate that very much. Hit the like button here. We are going to tell you about our friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It is because they win. I told you about the family in Pennsylvania. $650K that were initially offered. They ended up getting nearly $30 million in a settlement. Or the family down in Florida that was initially offered $350K, they ended up getting nearly $12 million. Easiest decision you'll ever make in your life. Please do me a favor by going to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Mm-hmm. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
My boy Dan Radakovich, Athletic Director of the Year. Congratulations. Getting the team in the national championship game and into the college playoff. And University of Miami basketball made it to the NCAA tournament. How you doing? Also, the baseball team made it to the NCAA tournament as well. That's what I'm talking about. Getting UM back to where it belongs. Let's see here, man. This guy talks more shit than me. Have a good night, everyone. Got to get to the buffet before Sills eats it all. Well, bro, if it's a buffet, for me, a big Sills buffet, all the shrimp you can eat, all the blue shell crab. Hey, Maniac, it would be here. Here would be my buffet. Blue shell crab, Schwimpies. I would want to have some scallops, spaghetti, not with sauce either. Normal spaghetti. Just get the olive oil, and I'll get the olive oil going there, and I'll get the vinegar and all that. We could drop it in there, drop some spices, put everything in there, and then I go right back there, and all you can eat. What was the name of those places? Beefsteak Charlie's. You guys remember those Beefsteak Charlie's back in the day? I don't even know if they have them anymore. I told you this, I don't leave the Dan Cave that much. So, like, Beefsteak Charlie's, man, I can't tell you how many places I closed down doing that shit. You too, bro. You're always cool, man. Players awarded AJ to be the captain. Let's ostracize him for speaking the truth. Passing attack has gotten worse in 3 years. You're right. A.J. Brown does speak the truth. Some of you guys just can't stand it. We had a comfortable offense for Hurts the last 2 years. Laurie's tireable. Hey, your offense has not been very good. Actually, your offensive running attack was spectacular the previous year. This last year, oysters too. Yes. I would say this. How many oysters could I eat? 60. I could probably eat 60 oysters. Yep. Get the horseradish. You get the thing, you get around, get a little juice, you put the juice in there, you're ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. Right? You get the lemons going. I could eat about 60 of them things. And then come back later. Absolutely. First 2 picks of the year for Philly will be offensive line and receiver. Post June 1, Howie trades A.J. Brown, Jalen Carter for Max Crosby. Dude, Jalen Carter for Max Crosby, I'm not doing that. No, thank you. I have no interest in that. I do like that Jeremiah Smith kid, though. I do. I do. In my city, they still have it amazing. Oh, really? You still got beefsteak Charlie's? Dude, I love that. You know why I never really got into mussels? So my grandpa's boat, every single, like every other day, these mussels would get on my grandfather's boat. And we would take like a hatchet. And we didn't know. My grandpa and I didn't know that mussels would become like a thing. So these mussels would like attach themselves to the boat. Honest to God, we're just cutting them off. And we're cutting them off the boat. And there was probably 50 of them. And we cut them off the boat. And all of a sudden, as I got older, mussels became a thing and people started eating mussels. My grandfather goes, I go, Grandpa, I see these things in restaurants and we're cutting them off the boat. And because they weigh the boat down, and if you let them sit on there, they could destroy the hull of your boat. You've never tried oysters? Trag? Well, you're missing out, homie. You would love those. Seals could definitely have the youngest defense in the league, seeing as they will probably replace most of their players in the draft. Are you talking Cowboys? Listen, like I said, I think the Cowboys are in a position where, again, you got to pay off in September. But I think you guys are making some nice moves. There you go. AJ, shut up and read more. TJ and a touchdown by Jalen Hurts. Listen, dude. AJ doesn't like the quarterback. That's not me saying it. I've been saying that. But AJ doesn't like the quarterback. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? He doesn't like the quarterback. There's nothing really else to say. You guys just don't want to buy it. You don't want to believe it. AJ doesn't like the quarterback. There's no other way around it. AJ got catfish to come here. Nah, I don't think so. 2 NFC championship rings and a Super Bowl and all pros at $32 million. Catfish me any day, please. I'll be catfish if you want to do that for me. All right? Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate it. Yeah, he's not here post June 1. There is no way that he's here June 1. We started off the season with $12.5 million. Now we have $40 million. I trust in Howie. We're only a week in. SS, okay. SS says they're only a week in. Well, what's next? SS, what's next? Hey, this could be too. Love me some blue crabs. How did the QB lie to him? Okay? What's next, SS? It's not in free agency. You're not going anywhere in free agency. Right? What's next? What do you mean? By the way, I'm looking at Angelo's blog. Howie Roseman is blowing it. Man, as Xander says, you old heads. I never in my entire life. I remember when those old guys used to, when I first got in, and all those guys used to take a shit on me. You know why? Because I'm not a journalist. You see, Angelo's a journalist, and all those guys are journalists. By the way, thank you again for the compliment. And why he only comes on our he comes on our show, and of course he's going to go on Howard's show because those guys worked together for over 35, 40 years. I love those two guys. You guys must have had a great time with them dudes on the air. It's not important you liked them. It's important you gauged with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have to like the host. The important thing is that you engage with your host. I mean, I know some of you don't like the shit I say, but I don't like. Here, look, when I write down shit on a piece of paper, A.J. Brown, June 1st, Jalen Hurts, what is that? Justin Fields. Oh, yeah, Justin Fields got traded to the Chiefs for a 6th round 27. Let's see. Here's my notes. Goddard. I put just a couple cliff notes down. Bro, I don't write down topics. I write down notes. Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles have to be tired of his bullshit. I don't write that one. Let me say this. See what that's not how I do it. I've done this for, like I said, over 37 years. Sills, would you rather draft poorly and be like the Commanders, spending a ton of money? It's DBL Edge. I swear you lose good players. Well, here. No, I don't want to spend a ton of money. But Twiz, let's take a look at this. Since I've been on the air, what year was that, Xander? 2021? I want to show you something. So let's do this. 2021. 2021. Okay, 2021 Eagles starting lineup. I'm going to show you something. Okay. So, on edge, you had Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat as your defensive ends. Okay? 2021. You had Brandon Graham and Sweat. Didn't cost you a cent. Let's go to 2022. Ends. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham. Okay? Hassan Reddick. 17.5. Okay? Let's go to 23. (2023) ends. Hassan Reddick, another 17.5. So there's $35 million that you spent on edge since 2021. Hang on, it gets better. 2024. Nolan Smith, first round pick. first round pick, and Sweat. Sweat's still here. 2025. Oh, yeah. And another 17.5 for Bryce Huff. So that's 17. Wait a minute. That's 35 and another 17. That's $52.5 million and a first round pick. Edge rushers. Nolan Smith. That's okay. In 2025, you got a third round pick. You gave up for Jalen Phillips. So since 2021, at edge, you guys have spent $52 million. You drafted a first-round player in Nolan Smith, and you still haven't solidified it since 21. I mean, right? Hold on here for a second. Let me double check something here. Let me look at this here. Hold on. Let's see. Double check something on Reddick. Yeah, Hassan Reddick was here 2 years, dude, not 1 year. Reddick was here 2 years. And actually, that would be $34 million. So you're probably at $65 million in a first-round pick is what you spent on edge since 2021. About $65 million in a first-round pick. And you're still where you were 3 years ago. So AJ's upset mostly due to his yards after the catch. He ranked 66th in the league last year. Well, that's kind of on him, though. Look, I think it's all about to do with the quarterback. He just doesn't like the style of play. Dude, he was here in 20. He was here 2 years. He acts like the Eagles, the only ones that lose good players. Bro, so do you happen to think, Greg, that there's a difference when the Jets lose players and when the Eagles lose players? He's making it sound like, well, you're comparable to the Jets. The Jets lose players too. So you're saying that you're the same? Hold on, brother, I'll get it. My bad. I'm with Xander. The only thing that would make me mad is if they send AJ to where he wants to after all the chaos that it's caused him. I'm not feeling that. I don't give a shit about that, though, Marsh. I want to send a guy to the best deal that I could possibly get the best return for. Okay? Bro, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to the guy. Oh, well, like I said, though, okay, well, you're in the same position. Good luck to you. Let's see what you do this year. You're basically in the same. Hey, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith. That's what you went into 2025 with. 4 out of the 22 starters weren't drafted by us. Think they're doing pretty good. I'm not sure what you're talking about. 4 out of the 22 starters. Well, here. Let's take a look at that. Let's go over here and go to the Eagles. Take a look at that. Okay, so on offense, Saquon Barkley was not drafted by the Eagles. So Barkley. Zach Bond was not drafted by the Eagles. Woolen was not drafted by the Eagles. And I believe that's it. But here's what you got going on here. Moro Jomo is not Josh Sweat. The two tackles inside are good. And Nolan Smith is, Moro Jomo is not Milton Williams. And Nolan Smith is not Josh Sweat. Will Campbell be better than Dean? I think so. Will Jalix Hunt be a Josh Sweat type player? Yet to be determined. Will Woolen finally play to his potential? We'll see. Sidney Brown is not very good. And he's listed as your starter now. Makuba, let's see if he stays healthy. And on the offensive side, here's your question marks. Think about this for a second here. Hey, Twiz, here's your question marks. Wait a second, Twiz. Here's your question marks. Will Jalen Hurts pick up the new offense and be a better passer? I say no. Will Barkley return? I don't know. Will A.J. Brown be here? I don't know. Can Vontae Smith be a number one? I don't know. Can Johnny Wilson have any impact whatsoever when they've had no impact in the 3-hole at wide receiver? I don't know. Dallas Goedert's older. Last year was a problem for him blocking. Will he be better? I don't know. Will Mulata return to form? I think so. Will Dickerson? I don't know. Will Juergens? I don't know. Will Steen be beat out? I don't know. What Lane Johnson are we coming back to? I don't know. Moro Jomo, can he continue the consistency? I think so. Jordan Davis, will he elevate his play now with his big contract? And will that guy turn into a 3-down player? You're paying him 3-down money. He's now making $26 million. Okay. Jalen Carter, will he return to form? I think so. Nolan Smith, will he ever be a 17-game player? I don't know. I don't believe so. Zach Bond, will he continue his consistency? I think so. Jahad Campbell, would he get better? I believe it. Jalix Hunt, will he continue to show progress? Yeah, I think so. Will Woolen stop being an asshole? I don't know. I don't know. Sidney Brown, will he ever be a player? No. Andrew Makuba, can he stay healthy? I don't know. I'll go away from I don't think so. I don't know. Quinyon Mitchell, will he continue his play? Absolutely. Cooper DeJean, will he continue his play? Absolutely. The only dudes on your football team that I have conviction on are Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Zach Bond, and Mulata. That's where I'm at. Well, then how can you call yourself a Super Bowl contender if everything is unknown? One hand, you call yourself a Super Bowl contender, but now you're saying everything is unknown. Okay. Out of all those you just listed, Sills, biggest concern is the O-line. It is. It's scary to think about not just this season, but seasons to come, especially in the next 2 years. Every team is an unknown. Okay, well, let me show you one thing here. Okay, let me show you one thing. Matthew Stafford. I have no concerns over anything with that guy. Corinne Williams. Keep the ball off the floor and be healthy. Puka Nacua, none. Devontae Adams, none. The wide receiver 3 dude, I don't know who he is. Tyler Higbee, stay healthy, kid. The offensive line, I would say I have concerns, but I think they've gotten better as pass protectors. On the defense, Brandon Fisk, none. Puna Ford, none. Kobe Turner, none. Brian Young, a little bit. Lamar Landman, a little bit. Jared Verse, 0. Trent McDuffie, 0. Cam Curl, 0. Cameron Kitchens, 0. Jalen Watson, 0. A little bit sometimes gets beat on a turn. Rams have a pretty good football team. There's a lot of certainties on that team. We go to another one. So let's go to here. Let's go to Bills. Allen, 0. James Cook, 0. DJ Moore probably fit in pretty good with Joe Brady. They had him down in Carolina when he was the OC down there. Khalil Shakur, I don't know. I think he's kind of a good player. I don't know who Joshua Palmer is. I know people tell me. Dalton Kincaid, stay healthy, kid. Deion Dawkins, stay healthy, dude. Okay? Ed Oliver, do me a favor and stay healthy. Deion Walker can play. Greg Rousseau, like him, stay healthy. Terrell Bernard, really good player. That's right. They signed Bradley Chubb. Stay healthy. Really good player. Geno Stone, I like. Cole Bishop, good player. That's right. Gardner Johnson's now in the nickel in Buffalo. He's now in the nickel. No, because it's going to cost you too much. It's going to cost you. Stafford has back issues. I mean, dude, you want to know who has back issues? Cam Jurgens has back issues. All right. Guys, my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, they are the #1 injury law firm for a reason. Please do me a favor and check them out. Best injury law firm in the entire country because John Morgan has put this company together. Family-owned, family-run, absolutely sensational company. And do me a favor, folks. This will be the easiest decision that you ever make if you're ever hurt on the job. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the thrill seekers, and the night owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on sports grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on sports grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
And before I get out of here, I want to say something and honor somebody. My friend Brad Culpepper's son was killed on Saturday in a motorbike accident. Brad played for the Buccaneers and he played for the Florida Gators. He was a friend of mine. And hey, you just never know. He was a lawyer, played quarterback at Syracuse. And boy, they're just, as you would imagine, just devastated. So, I mean, you know, the worst call you could possibly get is that you lost your kid. And Monica, by the way, Brad and Monica were on Survivor one time. So maybe you guys saw them there. But yeah, I mean, rest in peace, Rex. I mean, he worked for John Morgan too. He was an attorney for John Morgan, believe it or not, as was Brad one time. So yeah, devastating news, but hopefully God helps them get through this because just a terrible moment for them. Folks, I appreciate you, each and every single one of you. Please hit that like button, and we will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6 Eastern, and we'll catch you on the flip side.